It may have come after the clock hit zero, but when Delaware quarterback Joe Flacco snuck in for a touchdown on the final play of regulation in the 2007 game against Richmond, it triggered a memorable 5-overtime thriller, and a rivalry was born. The Spiders eventually won that game, as they did in also memorable fashion in their most recent meeting, using a fourth down stop, a 45-yard completion on 4th and 4, and a 39-yard field goal with 4 seconds to go, propelling the Spiders to their third straight win over the Blue Hens. But UD still leads the series 22-14. So what's in store today in the 37th and likely final meeting? 6-0 Delaware, 4-2 Richmond, both unbeaten in the CAA and ready to make one more memory. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Robins Stadium. It is a red-out Robins Sunsplash Saturday as the Richmond Spiders get set to host the Delaware Blue Hens. Come on inside our broadcast home and join us. He's former Spider captain Chris Anderson. I'm Bob Black. Sean Robertson will join us from down on the field in just a little bit. You know, around these parts, the Spiders talk about their longest rivalry in the South battle with William and Mary. And up in the Mid-Atlantic, Delaware talks about its Battle of the Blue with Villanova. But Chris, I think there can be an argument made for the Delaware-Richmond rivalry as one of the more undervalued and over-delivers.
Yeah, so for me, there's the rivalry that the fans have. There's a rivalry that maybe other people have, maybe even coaches. But then there's a rivalry with players. A lot of these guys come from the same area. They've seen each other. And look, if you look at this rivalry, some of these guys have gone on to play on the next level. They played on Sundays. They played in Canada. So there's some good ball being played here, and they're always competitive, man.
You played in this rivalry, and you actually got the legendary Coach Tubby Raymond one time?
Got him one time.
Championship
and it was a championship year, but that is how this rivalry works. A lot of times these games are worth more than just, it's not just a regular game. You beat Delaware, you're doing something, it means something, and there's an opportunity to play further on in the season.
It's a good rivalry because they've got good players. Let's focus in on a couple of those good players on our Davenport & Company scouting report for Delaware. How about wide receiver Phil Lutz, former Division III player at Tufts, and now, Chris, he finds himself in the Delaware record book, 6 consecutive games with a touchdown catch.
Special kind of story, man, but when you watch his game, special kind of game as well. As a defensive back, he would scare the mess out of me because here's the deal. There's a guy who can run past you. He's got that deep ball, but then he's also got he can run intermediate routes, and he can take a short route right there and take it to the house. So meaning he has he has the plethora. He has everything about his game. It's complete, and that can make you a little bit afraid as a defensive back. Richmond have to pay close attention to that today.
He's the CAA Offensive Player of the Week after his performance against Maine last week. So who's going to stop him in this high-powered Delaware offense that averages over 40 points a game? Well, everybody on the Richmond defense. But Chris, let's zero in on the middle linebacker. He was asked to fill the shoes of All-American Tristan Wheeler, and Carter Glassmeyer is Richmond's leading tackler.
He's going to have a big one today, right? He's going to have to support those defensive backs by supplying pressure. He is consistent, and he is physical. In the Richmond defense, that is what we ask from our middle linebacker. He's been everything we've hoped for, everything we've needed, and he's going to have another big day today.
The Spiders did not play Delaware last year, but Carter Glassmeyer did when he was at St. Francis. He was involved in a couple of tackles and a quarterback sack against the Blue Hens last season. Hey, speaking of quarterbacks, who are we going to see today for Richmond and for Delaware? That's been a week-long question. Let's get some answers. Let's see Sean Robertson for the first time this afternoon, looking resplendent in his red-out Robins red. Hello, Sean.
Yeah, Bob, I had to wear the red polo shirt today for being a red out here at Robins Stadium. But back to the quarterbacks, both head coaches were playing it very close to the vest and naming a starter this week. In fact, head coach Ryan Carty of Delaware, he didn't name a starter until early this afternoon when he went with Zach Marker as his starting quarterback, and all he's done in his last 3 starts has thrown 9 touchdowns without an interception. For Richmond, head coach Russ Huseman going with Cam Coleman again. He will make his 4th consecutive start and 5th appearance this season. That is significant because now Coleman cannot be redshirted after playing at least 4 games this season. A big reason for Coleman's success during this 4-game winning streak has been the rushing attack. They have averaged 237 yards during that stretch. A big reason why Richmond is 2nd in the CAA in rushing, but they'll be going up against the number 1 rush defense in the conference in Delaware. They have allowed just over 91 yards per game. Bob?
All right, Sean, thanks. Delaware, one of 4 remaining FCS unbeaten teams at 6-0. Richmond has won 4 in a row and is 2-0 in the conference for the first time in a full season since 2015. So something's got to give today. We'll give you the kickoff coming straight up on Masson and Flow Sports. The Spiders won the coin flip today, and Russ Huseman has elected to take the ball first and put Cam Coleman and that Spider offense on the field. So sit back, relax, enjoy a CAA Showdown Saturday from Robins Stadium, and Nate Reed kicking off for Delaware, doing what he almost always does. That's his 34th touchback in 47 kickoffs. All right, here comes this Spider offense, brought to you by Sector Spider ETFs, the next chapter in investing. Along that front line, Tom Elia at center. He's anchored by Scott Hummel and Cade Salyers, the guards. Gabe Carbajal and Parker Mitchell are the Spider tacklers. The receivers, Javion Griffin, Nick DeGennaro, Jerry Garcia. The tight end is Matt Robert. And then in the backfield for the Spiders, Cam Coleman at quarterback, anchored by the Thunder and Lightning duo, Zach Palmer-Smith and Andrew King, the true freshman. ZPS coming off a 200-yard game. King 100 yards 2 weeks ago against North Carolina A&T. And now the Spiders go up against one of the best rush defenses in the league. In fact, the #1 rush defense in Delaware. And there's a stop after no gain on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, and Coach Huseman talked about this. The longer you play, as we play, Coleman has been a winner every time he's touched the field. He does have that aspect of his game where he can throw the ball. We're going to have to see more of that. Teams are going to start to key in on the run, and we're looking at the best run defense in the conference today.
Keyshawn Hunter making that tackle, the defensive lineman, the senior transfer from Old Dominion, and the Spiders are at 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line. Coleman 2 weeks ago against A&T, 10 of 18, 124 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions in that game. And here comes his first pass this afternoon as he heads for the sideline to Nick DeGennaro, but he threw it past him and incomplete. Nate Evans, the senior North Carolina State transfer, who made his first start for Delaware last week, starting again today, was on the coverage.
We've seen this with Coleman before. He gets going, and once he gets going, he's hot. But sometimes in that first quarter, takes him a few throws to get going, just a little bit off on that one.
The first quarter has not been kind to the Spiders this year. They have been outscored 27-12 in the opening quarter, and this is not a team you want to fall behind against early. And then the second half, Delaware really turns it on. Look at this defense here, Chris. They've got all 11 up on the line of scrimmage, and on 3rd down and 10, again, Coleman misconnects with his intended receiver, and it'll be 4th down, and the Spiders a very quiet 3 and out.
Yeah, quick 3 and out. Didn't pick up any yards. No gain on the first, and then 2 incompletes. Going after DeGennaro, you talked about it. We've got to find a way to get him going. That time he's just kind of beat on the line. And just the defensive back wins that battle, knocks him out of bounds. So even if he caught that, it wouldn't have been any good.
Now we'll see what the Spiders' best player maybe can do today, and that's Aaron Trussler, the Richmond punter. Delaware's going to put 2 safeties back there against him. High end-over-end kick, driving Thaw all the way back to the 25-yard line, but he is going to return it, and here he goes. He's at midfield, and into Spider territory goes Jake Thaw for Delaware, and he'll give the Blue Hens a short field at the Spider 48-yard line. We haven't seen that all year long. In fact, Chris, that was more return yards than everybody has had against Aaron Trussler this year. Combined, only 17 return yards this season, and Jake Thaw just returned it for 23.
Yeah, surprised we haven't seen more teams try that. You put 2 guys back there. That kind of doesn't allow the defensive players to the punt team to just focus on one guy. Thaw makes 1 miss and picks up 23. First down here for the Blue Hens right at midfield.
And it is Zach Marker, and he goes to work, and he completes his first pass on the Delaware sideline to Max Patterson, the senior wide receiver, with his 17th catch of the season. Spider defense brought to you by Sector Spider ETFs. Next chapter in investing. A thin but good defensive line. Grant and Bird are the ends. Stocklinski and Fitz are the tackles. The linebackers, Galloway, Glassmeyer, and the return of Q, Quantrell Morris-Walker, who missed the A&T game. Secondary, Tomlinson, Hayes, Trainer, and Frazier, 2 redshirt freshmen in that group. 2nd down and 3, and this is Marcus Yarns taking the handoff. He gets to the 40, but he won't get to the first down marker as he is wrapped up right between the middle of the hash marks, and it'll be a 3rd down play coming up. Chris, there's the guy we featured on our pregame, Carter Glassmeyer, his first tackle.
Yeah, great tackle. One-on-one tackle, fills the gap, reads it like a running back, sees it, makes that tackle all by himself, solo tackle. You like to see multiple hats on the ball, but Glassmeyer, when you get there and you're by yourself, that's the way to finish the tackle.
Yarns did not play in the second half, maybe but for a couple of snaps last week. He has been banged up this season, And he is in there now on 3rd down and 1. He takes the handoff. He's got the first down, and an ankle tackle by Jabril Hayes may have saved a touchdown. But the Blue Hens will move the sticks, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the Spider 33.
Yeah, definitely saved a touchdown. Looked like the Spiders had some get off. They were in the backfield. But again, not a lot of hats right there by the ball. Jabril Hayes picks up on it late, gets over there and is able to just get him on the ground.
Marcus Yarns playing in his 5th game this season. He's averaging about 70 yards per game. Zach Marker making his 4th consecutive start at quarterback. Sean gave you some of his numbers on our pregame show. He has been nearly perfect, nearly flawless. He's going to keep the ball this time and slide down very smartly after just a 1-yard gain, and then a flag comes in late for what I believe is going to be a late hit after Marker gave himself up by sliding to the turf.
Boy, this one's tough. You can see they're having a conversation. The flag came out late, and you saw Marker turn to the referee and ask for the call, so there's something he thought he should get. This is tough. This is where we are in terms of football.
Get our first welcome from Paul Matt Overton, our referee, after much discussion with his colleagues.
After the play, personal foul with targeting. Defense, number 10. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. The targeting aspect is under further review.
Well, let's see what we see, Chris. This is Carter Glassmeyer against Meyer. And the late flag came in as he slid to the turf. What do you think?
I think it's tough. Yeah, I mean, he's a little slower, so he gives himself up. I don't see the targeting.
Nope.
I really don't see the other part,
I
too,
don't either. I don't even see the late hit.
I play a different, I'm from a different era, so I always try to recognize that. I definitely don't see the targeting, even the late part. It looks like, yeah, you could say he was giving himself up, but I don't know. You're just going down. He just falls on top of him, so I don't see either. I think Glassmeyer will be cleared on the targeting. I wish they could take a look at that penalty as well. You can see Coach Huseman and the coaching staff looking at it because they are upset. Because you're looking at a position where, you won first down, you feel like.
Well, I think Russ is getting in the officials' ears saying what we've just told our audience. Like, how do you expect Glassmeyer to pull up? He's already in his dive to tackle the quarterback, and then I certainly didn't see any targeting. You're not going to change the penalty. That can't happen, but I don't think that will be targeting. That would be a crime if it is. And look, I know Delaware wants to protect its quarterback. Zach Marker had that knee injury at the end of last season against Villanova, did all the rehab over the summer, has come back. When we get another look at him, you'll see the brace that he wears on his right knee. And they don't want anything to happen to him for sure. But, Chris, this is football, whether it's your era or this era, and there is a contact element to it.
There is a contact element to it. And my concern is I do think Glassmeyer will continue to play in the game. We'll see. But I think, whatever happens, the physicality, does it take something away from Glassmeyer? And you could see, you could argue that does the head duck, but is there contact, between his helmet to the quarterback's helmet?
As we mentioned on the open, Glassmeyer actually played against Delaware last season. Ryan O'Connor was the quarterback last year for Delaware. He is still on this year's team. He's been out with what we were told was a concussion, so he's not playing. And it's Zach Marker here. But Glassmeyer did play against the Blue Hens last season. I still say that's tough on both of those calls.
Right.
And it's a long look with replay official Brian Thomas.
Which is generally not a good thing. But also, Marker, good play by the quarterback. He gets up immediately trying to signal, hey, this happened, that happened, make the call. Let's see what they say here.
After review, there is no targeting on the play. The personal foul is still assessed. It's first down.
Well, that's about the best the Spiders could have hoped for out of that scenario.
If you're Glassmeyer, you got to keep playing. You got to get this out of your head. You can't allow that to change your physicality, how you play the game. We think he made the right decision. I don't think he was overly aggressive. Didn't see anything dirty. Didn't see him late there. He's got to always just keep that head up.
But it does move the ball into the red zone. And you'll get a look at Zach Marker. The Spiders, some penetration. Looked like Quantrell Morris Walker was the first one to get in there. By his reaction, he certainly was. You know, he's glad to be back after missing the A&T game with the concussion.
You're back. You've had a bye. You're out the week before. You feel super fresh. You know, sometimes you miss a couple games. You just remember how much you love it. And just like that, in 10 days, you get that first hit. Feel good about it. Good to have him back out here.
2nd out and 9 from the Spiders' 16-yard line. Kelly in motion to the right. Marker to throw to the right, and the pass is batted down and incomplete as Camden Bird gets his hand up there.
We asked about what happens during a bye. What are you working on in a bye? I don't know if you remember it, but against A&T, you know, the rush, they were getting rid of the ball. The rush wasn't always there, and we were saying, man, these guys need to jump. They need to get in the air, put their hands in the throwing lanes, and we weren't doing that. You get a bye, you get some days off, you watch a ton of film, and you start to realize there's some opportunities where that could be done. Bird takes advantage of that right now. Great play by him. 3rd down and long here.
Keep an eye on 13, Phil Lutz in scoring position. He's at the top of your screen here. Marker looking over the middle to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for the big tight end, Elijah Simmons. And it was Matthew Trainer and Jabril Hayes crisscrossing to get in the way of that Zach Marker pass. And it'll be 4th down.
Trainer saw that the entire way, read it the entire way. I think Blue Hens actually got a little lucky here. He could have picked that one, but he saw it. I love that. That's, again, an example of studying film, recognition, knowing how Delaware will attack you, and making a good play.
33-yard field goal attempt for Nate Reed. You see what he's done so far this season. Good snap and hold, plenty of distance on the kick, and it's accurate. And Nate Reed puts the first points of the game on the board with the field goal for Delaware, but I think the Spider offense will be okay with that. Spider defense will be okay with that. They bend but don't break. We break instead with 10:53 to go. First quarter from Robins Stadium. Delaware on the board first, 8-play, 36-yard drive, 3 minutes and 1 second. Nate Reed connects on a 33-yard field goal. All right, time for Chris Anderson's Keys to the Game, brought to you by Luck Chevrolet, the Chevy truck experts since 1916.
All right, number one, defensive diversity. I just think, generally the Spiders, we're very basic. We're going to do what we do, and we do it well. I think you got to add a couple things in, blitz a little bit, do anything you can do to throw this this Blue Hens offense off. Play from ahead. Obviously, Blue Hens gave up something, but their talent right now is they are an extremely deep offense, and they caught a lot of teams. You want to get a lead, make them come for you, and finally apply pressure on both sides. I think, obviously Marker he's not a mobile quarterback. We want to attack him, and then offensively, in terms of applying pressure, got to take some shots downfield. Got to take some shots, try to shake them up, and get those big plays that we hear Coach Huseman talking about so often.
Back-to-back touchbacks by Nate Reed, who has that big leg, and now 35 touchbacks on the season. So the Spider offense Second time on the field, will start from the 25-yard line. And you had mentioned it, Chris. Cam Coleman has started slowly. He had that game, right, against Elon, I guess, where he went 0 for 5 and then 8 for 8.
Yeah, that's one thing we know, right? So I don't think we're as worried because we've seen him bounce back. A slow start hasn't affected the rest of his game.
Delaware's rush defense just pouring through. They are going to dare the Spiders to throw the football, Chris. They're bringing everybody up.
Yeah, and the way they set it up is they have everybody right there on the line. You don't know who's dropping into coverage. You don't know who's coming, and it can throw you off. They have a couple of those plays a game where it's just, they just fool the offensive lineman. They think surely this person is dropping, and they're not. They're coming. That time caught the Spiders looking.
So Zach Palmer-Smith, who had only had 8 negative yards all season, lost 3 on that play alone. And the Spiders are behind the sticks here on 2nd and 13. Coleman over the middle. Javion Griffin's got it across the 40, out across the 45, and there you go. Cam Coleman's first completion goes to J5. Javion Griffin, his 6th catch of the year.
2 things about that. Number 1, great time given to Coleman by that offensive line. They gave him plenty of time. And then number 2, that wasn't the best pass. I thought Javion Griffin did a good job of, making the adjustment and still catching the ball.
So the Spiders with their initial first down as they nudge close to midfield at the Richmond 48-yard line. Coleman again over the middle. Oh, he had DeGennaro, and it goes off of his right hand and incomplete. If that's 3 inches lower, it's 6 for the Spiders.
Almost. And you can tell right now the Spiders have made a decision. We're going to take some shots downfield. We got to do it. Delaware is doing everything to stop the run. And, DeGennaro has been – he's the guy. He hasn't been done much this season, but he's still the Spiders guy. They want to get the ball to him whenever they can.
And this will put it in the back of the Delaware defense's mind that we just can't always come up and play the run. They're going to keep us honest and throw the ball. So 2nd down and 10 from the 48. Jet sweep, trying to turn the corner, but nothing doing. As this Delaware defense, that was Gavin Mole that time on Jerry Garcia, the sophomore linebacker, who makes the tackle. There on the jet sweep with Garcia, one of the Spiders' fastest guys. They're certainly trying to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers here in the first quarter.
And that's what you do when it's after a bye. You've had a chance to work on some things, and you want to find a way to get get the ball in the hands of playmakers, guys who can break this thing open. We talked about it and just said it in my pregame. You're going to have to find some big plays.
Spiders 40% on 3rd down. Will this be a big play to DeGennaro? It is! Coleman to DeGennaro down the sideline. That's what the Spiders were looking for as they take one off of the top and will be 1st and 10 at the 11.
Keep giving them shots. Keep taking shots. If Delaware continues to want to sit everybody in there and just play man-to-man bump and run, you got to test them continually. And DeGennaro is a guy we want to use when we're testing his defense because he's going to win more battles than he loses. Wins that one right there.
That puts the Spiders at the Delaware 11. Richmond 83% success rate in the red zone this season. That's a 41-yard completion to Nick DeGennaro. It's his longest catch of the year. And it came on 3rd and 10. Coleman throws. Griffin, the catch at the 5, powers his way down to the 1-yard line. Catch.
Again, I just like the recognition. Just Javion Griffin recognizing if I go into there's nothing there. I got to sit right here in this hole. He reads it. Coleman reads it. He sits that route right there. Boom, and catches it, gets what he can, almost gets into the end zone.
Now it could be ZPS time. 1st and goal at the Delaware 1. No, it'll be Coleman looking to power his way into the end zone after he faked it to Zach Palmer-Smith. And Camden Coleman with a little flex when he hits the end zone, and the Spiders are on the board and take the lead.
Needed to have that. Again, that's another play, Bob, we've talked about. Just knew that had to be in the offense somewhere at some point, just keeping, because all eyes are on Zach Palmer-Smith, and Coleman's a big body. He's a big guy. Not going to ram past you, but he can definitely run over you. Gives the defender a face full, gets into that end zone.
I think he's having some fun running the football. Now, you're not going to want to overdo that with your quarterback, but I think he's liking that. Nice job there by Aaron Trussler. A little bit of a high snap to get it down. Brandon Peskin remains perfect on the season, 19 of 19 in PATs. And the Spiders feeling pretty good now here in the first quarter after a 7-play, 75-yard drive in 3 minutes and 17 seconds, highlighted by the 41-yard pass from Coleman to DeGennaro on 3rd and 10, and then Coleman bullying it in from 1 yard out.
Yeah, really just a good drive. I like the offense coordinator, Winston October, just makes a decision like, hey, they're ganging up on the line. We got to do something. We trust our offensive line to give us time. Let's take some shots downfield. You got Javion Griffin now. You got here, DeGennaro. We're going downtown. We got to do some things. If nothing else, it caused you to have to loosen up on that for the run. ZPS fakes his EPS on that one. Coleman keeps it and gets into the end zone. 4 for 7 on that one. Remember, we talked about he could start a little slow. Just give him time. 4 for 7, 77 yards, rushing TD. Well-executed drive by Coleman in that entire offense.
3rd rushing TD of the year, in fact, for Cam Coleman. And now Will McManus with the run-up and the Spider kickoff to the far side of the field. Pollard will take it at the 5-yard line, comes straight back up the middle, bounces it to the outside, and here comes some red shirts at about the 26-yard line. Good coverage by the Spiders. On special teams, Zach Chambers, the local product, making the tackle. Let's go down to the field. Sean Robertson along that Spider sideline. Sean?
Bob, you and Chris hit the nail on the head on that last drive. Head coach Russ Huesman said all week, not throwing the ball, not nearly like we should or need to. All of our big plays were on the ground. We got to do a better job of making big plays through the air, and you saw it on that last drive. 2 big plays through the air by Cam Coleman. That's what they have to do against a team that's number 1 against the run in the CAA.
So the Spiders play with the lead for the first time now at 7-3, halfway through the first quarter. This is a pass, and now running the ball is Jake Thaw, and Thaw only got about a yard. Little creativity shown there by the Delaware offense and their offensive coordinator, Terrence Archer.
Can't ask much more from this Spider defense. Out of the field to make this tackle. This is just good discipline by the Spider defense. Look at that. Even watching for the throwback. As soon as he takes off, Jeremiah Grant comes and secures the tackle.
Empty backfield for Marker, and now Thaw, the wide receiver, joins him to his right. Marker throws over the middle, right at the hash marks. Pass is caught. That's going to be a short gain, and then the Spiders converge with their linebackers as Wayne Galloway and Carter Glassmeyer make the tackle, and it'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Delaware offense that has been terrific on 3rd down this season. Successful 51% of the time.
This is the expectation right here for the Spider defense. Hey, if the rush is not going to get there, it's going to be a short pass, and we're going to tackle it immediately. Set up a 3rd and 3 here.
Marker looking to throw for it over the middle, and a leaping catch is made by Jakari Kelly in Spider territory. He stumbles down at the Richmond 44-yard line. Kelly, the sophomore out of Gainesville, Florida, with his 10th catch of the season.
Yeah, Spiders get lucky right there. Kind of out of position. He slips behind the linebackers and really in front of the safety. Let's take a look at it here.
Quick offense, Marker to the sideline, and this one is overthrown and incomplete. Jojo Bermudez was the intended receiver. Chris, more depth on this Delaware team, huh?
They got plenty of depth. We're seeing that play before this last one. And again, I talked about it. Behind the linebackers, but in front of the safety. Spiders really get lucky on that one. Live to play another day. Here we go, 2nd and long.
Speaking of depth, they've gone deeper with the running backs. Marker's going to fire this one over the middle and incomplete. Diving attempt by Jake Thaw. But I think there's a penalty flag down, and I believe the Spiders are offside.
Defense, number 2. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That rarely happens.
Yeah,
a mistake by the senior Jeremiah Grant. Spiders are the least penalized team in the CAA, only about 37 yards per game, but they've already had the 15-yard personal foul and now that 5-yard offside.
That personal foul, I don't know if we're going to count that one. A little questionable, but that was kind of an unforced error. We don't see the Spiders do much of that.
Jonathan Silver at running back now to the right of Marker. Marker fakes to him, throws to the near side. The pass is caught by Bermudez, and Bermudez picks up the first down to the Spider 33-yard line. He's a transfer from Cincinnati. I find it fascinating, all the transfers they have, Chris, and the different levels, right? We talked about Phil Lutz, Division III Tufts. Their other wide receivers are transfers from Michigan, Rutgers, and Cincinnati.
And the Tufts guy is doing it all.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
That's just the way it is sometimes. Everybody's looking for the fit these days. What fits me best?
1st and 10. A lot of passes here by Marker. Long one to the sideline, and he just throws that one away because the Spiders were in excellent coverage, and the veteran Marker knew to just throw it away and live to play another down.
Coverage pressure there. Coverage pressure all day long. Spiders, you looked out there, and everybody was covered. Spiders were in great position. Good job by these defensive backs. You could tell they've watched some film. They know what to look for and what to expect.
Zach Marker, 4 of 8 now for 45 yards. Remember, the Spider defense is second against the run.
Reverse coming.
And Marker's going to throw it back to the near side. This one is caught by Silver, the running back. He gets inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. We're seeing some creativity by both of these offenses here in the first quarter.
How about Glassmeyer again? He saw that immediately, picked up on it. You could tell anytime you get that reverse, he's not running fast, throws it back. Couple blockers out there, all go after Trainer. Glassmeyer comes in and makes the tackle. Good job by Trainer stepping up and taking the attention of the offensive lineman. Good job by Glassmeyer coming in and securing the tackle.
See if the Spiders can get a stop here on 3rd and 4 at the Richmond 27-yard line. That's Thaw in motion to the top of your screen. 2 receivers to the left. Marker's going to throw it to the right to Thaw, and he is tackled. Excellent ankle tackle by Quantrell Morris Walker. He was the first one to slow him up, and then Wayne Galloway finished him off. The linebackers are really active here in the first quarter.
And look, we knew that's something the Spiders had to have this week. They had to have those linebackers flying around. They're fresh. There's a little bit of depth there. You got Jordan Allen. You got Chambers, who can come in the game where we don't have depth right now, is on that front 4, so we knew the linebackers were going to have a big game today.
Delaware 13 of 19 this season on 4th down. They go for it here. Marker has to scramble. He's on the run. He runs with the football. He'll get the first down, and then he fumbled it. I don't know if there was a whistle. The Spiders pounce on it at the 19-yard line. I didn't hear a whistle when Marker went down. The Spiders have the football. Jabril Hayes has it in his hands.
Haven't heard a declaration from the referees yet. There we go.
So the call on the field is fumble, turnover Richmond, and this would be a headline, Chris. Delaware's offense has not lost a fumble all season long. Are they about to lose one here?
They lead the conference, plus 12 in turnover margin. I'll tell you what, they'll take a look at it, but here's if we get a chance to look at it, you can tell here's where college football is changing. You can tell everybody is pulling up a little bit because of the Glassmeyer situation earlier, and it's like, man, I don't want to dive. That ball comes out right there.
Oh, that ball's out, yes. That ball got punched out by Jamar Hodges. That'll be his second forced fumble of the year if it stands, and the first fumble lost by the Delaware offense this season. The drama builds as we take a break. Will it be Spider ball? When we come back, Richmond with a 7-3 lead.
Richmond Spiders are known by what we do.
We follow our instincts, and we lay it all on the line.
We advance life-changing research and put discovery in motion.
We take the lead, and we go the distance.
What could you do?
What could you do?
What could you do at Richmond?
There are many ways to buy the S&P 500, but only one way allows you to own the sectors you like best. Sector Spider ETFs. Is it so radical to be so rational? Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Go to sectorspiders.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully. Sector Spiders, the 11 sectors of the S&P 500.
Hey, Spider fans, be sure to check out today's free digital game program, available on the football schedule page on richmondspiders.com and on the Spider Athletics Twitter account at Spider Athletics. You can go to your laptop or your phone right now and check it out, while referee Paul Matt Overton with a long review to see if this was a live ball and a Delaware fumble recovered by Richmond. Otherwise, it's going to be a Delaware first down.
See Hodges coming from behind. Right there, he grabs for the ball. Now, I guess we don't have we can see if the ball was moved. Let's see if we can see it from this angle. That's definitely when he's grabbing for the ball. Quarterback's not down yet.
It is really hard to tell if the knee is already down when the ball clearly comes out. Remember, he's got that big knee brace on the right knee.
They're taking some time with it. You can definitely see Hodges going for it and going for the rip. I guess the question is, was it actually out before that knee hit the ground?
And again, this is so significant on so many fronts in the immediacy of real time, just who has the football at the end of the play. But as we mentioned, Delaware hasn't lost a fumble yet this season. And when the Blue Hens win the turnover battle under their head coach, that's Richmond head coach Russ Huseman right there. But under Ryan Carty, Chris, they are 16-0 when they win the turnover battle in his 2+ years.
And Coach Carty said that. Coach Carty said that. He said the ball is life in their program. The ball is life.
Yep, he did.
You can see right there, the ball is loose right there.
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down for Richmond.
And the Spider offense charges on the field. And Russ Huseman's got to be thrilled about that, because all week long he was asked what impressed him the most about Delaware, and the first words out of his mouth, turnover margin. They lead the nation, FCS football, at +12, now +11, and the Spiders have the ball at their 18-yard line.
Don't turn the ball over and get turnovers. I mean, that's the biggest difference maker in the game of football, particularly when you come up on a big game with two talented teams.
So the Spiders with a 7-3 lead and 3:39 to go here in the first quarter start at their 18-yard line. Coleman to the air. Crossing pattern, Garcia at the 21. Short gain, got about 3, and we'll make it 2nd down and 7. Very safe pass there from Coleman.
Still picks up 3 or 4. I just love the time Coleman's getting back there. Great job by this offensive line.
And now you wonder, Chris, will you go back and try the running game? You've got a great running game, averaging 214 yards per game, 2nd in the CAA. You know you're going up against a great rush defense, but maybe you're starting to loosen them up a bit. And they do on this one, as the pass is caught by Landon Ellis, and then he's got yak. He's got yards after catch all the way out across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line for the sophomore from Woodbury Forest, Landon Ellis, with his 18th catch.
Yeah, yards after catch, yards after contact. Ellis, he's a big guy. He is not a small receiver. He's a big guy, and you expect this when he gets it. Defensive backs struggle to bring him down, picks up a few more yards. Tough runner.
Spiders with a little tempo offense here. They set up a screen to Andrew King, but King is met in the backfield, and he'll lose a couple of yards at the 40-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 12 as the Delaware defense sniffed that one out.
And this is where you can see the athleticism of Delaware. I know Coleman wanted to hold this a little bit long, but the pressure was on. He lets go of it, and you see 3 or 4 guys react immediately to the screen and get out there.
Andrew King had the 100 yards against North Carolina A&T, and he did it on only 6 carries, but he came out of that game in the second half. He tweaked his knee. Russ Huseman said he would not have played if the Spiders had played last week. So the bye came perfectly for him. And now Coleman is going to be sacked in the backfield, and then there was a push after the sack, and that's going to be a penalty. That'll take away that quarterback sack from Melkart Abu-Jabai, who had the quarterback sack and then shoved Coleman a second time.
Tell you what, this is
automatic first down.
Got to drive Delaware Coach Carty, got to drive him crazy, because this should have been a sack. Number one, you give up the field goal. Number two, the sack is right there. Great play. Unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. A gift to the Spiders, actually.
I'll tell you who it's really going to upset is Manny Rojas, the defensive coordinator of Delaware, the former Spider. defensive coach, former linebacker coach under Danny Rocco here during some glory Spider years. He's not going to like that at all. All right, here comes a little flea flicker by the Spiders. Coleman throwing downfield, but he rushed the throw and threw it in the ground. He had Matt Robert open on the Spiders sideline.
We've seen that play run a couple times, run it this year, run it last year. Coach October keeps that in there, and it always works. That time it was there. Just don't see that from Coleman very often. He just rushed that throw, threw it straight in the dirt.
That said, Chris, this looks like an offense that had a bye week, right?
Definitely
and
does.
certainly used it to their advantage. New formations. They've got the 4 wides to the top of your screen there, all bunched on 2nd down and 10. We're seeing some new stuff. Here comes the blitz, the throw to DeGennaro, makes the catch, and then
everybody on the other side because, the Spiders have struggled to get one-on-one opportunities for DeGennaro. That time you look at a little film, we're going to go quads on the other side, just run a simple slant on the other side, one-on-one. Defensive back has to respect it and give him some space because he's been beaten. Enough to give you 8 or 9 yards, make it a 3rd and manageable here.
Tyron Herring, that defensive back, the captain, the transfer from Dartmouth with the tackle. 3rd and 1. Handoff straight ahead. Zach Palmer-Smith has the first down and more. That's the ZPS we've been seeing the last 3 weeks, and it gives the Spiders the first down.
And what did you just say earlier? They're going to stop the run, so you got to go to the pass, open it up. Make them do some different things. You got a totally different look here. Look at that hole for ZPS as he comes through. Easy to get that 1 yard.
Spiders 1st and 10 at the Delaware 33. Coleman now will slow the pace. Spiders do have to run this, which has been highly entertaining, as we expected it would be. Coleman to the air, fires a long pass for the sideline and a diving catch. Javion Griffin with his 3rd catch of this first quarter, right at the first down marker, will make it 1st and 10 for the Spiders when we go to the 2nd quarter. Spiders are on the move in an entertaining CAA showdown at the end of 1 on Cam Coleman's 1-yard touchdown run. Richmond has a 7-3 lead. Spiders on the move as we go to quarter number 2. Bob and Chris in the booth, Sean on the sidelines, Blake Ellett directing our crew, the sights and sounds of CAA football as we head to the 2nd quarter. Zach Palmer-Smith in the offense coming back on the field. And, Chris, he's carried so much of the load. You see the numbers there the last 4 games, particularly the last 3, 156, 167, 200 First time the Spiders have had a guy with 150 or more yards in 3 straight games since Jacoby Green back in 2015. Didn't really get on track yet in the first quarter.
Just getting better. Spiders have been able to go to other things. They've been able to put the game on the back of Cam Coleman, the arm of Cam Coleman. Let's see if that opens up for this run game.
Second quarter starts at the Delaware 23. Coleman
Blitz.
wants to go back to the air over the middle. He's got DeGennaro right down the middle of the field for the Spider touchdown. Nick DeGennaro's second touchdown reception of the season. Second touchdown of the day for the Spider offense.
How about this job by the offensive line? Blue Hens are going to blitz. They're going to come all out for Cam Coleman. He gets all type of protection, sits in there. DeGennaro's his guy. Finds him wide open in the end zone. Just a great execution there. Everything picked up. And you just can't have DeGennaro floating around the middle of your defense. He's going to find the open hole. Cam Coleman's going to find him. It's going to be 6 on the board.
We've been just kind of waiting for Nick DeGennaro to have a day like today has started. Brandon Peskin's PAT is good, and the Spiders take a 14-3 lead. DeGennaro, 3 catches, 72 yards. He had the 40-yarder down the Delaware sideline on the first scoring drive, and he is the scoring on this touchdown drive.
Tell you what, that's a big one. Another great drive by the offense. Let's not forget how this all started with the turnover by the defense from a Blue Hen offense that rarely turns the ball over, team that just doesn't turn it over, doesn't give you opportunities. You want to beat a great team, they make a mistake, you got to capitalize on it right here, just like the Spiders do on this drive and that play right there.
We told you in the first quarter the Spiders had been outscored 27-12. They flipped the script in the second quarter. They've now outscored their opponents 79-37 in the second quarter, with that one in the first 4 seconds of the second quarter.
I think that's it. I think that's Coach October usually taking some time to figure things out. Cam Coleman taking some things to figure it out. They didn't have that time today. I think coming off a bye, they came out all guns blazing so far.
This is a good kick by Will McManus, and into the end zone it goes. McManus with his 9th touchback of the season, and Delaware will start at the 25-yard line. Sean Robertson, as the Spider defense comes back out onto the field, you were keeping your eyes on Jabril Hayes, who came hobbling off after recovering that fumble.
That's right, Bob. Ever since they forced that fumble, Jabril Hayes limped off the field. He was worked on this sideline for about 25 minutes in real time. He went to the red tent on 2 different occasions, did some sprint drills up and down the sideline, testing that right ankle. The official word we got on Hayes is he is questionable for his return, but they're still trying to work that right ankle to see if he can be back in action.
Marker's going to go to the air on first down, and what a play again by Carter Glassmeyer. Such a popping hit that he loses his helmet.
Love it. Has to come out for a game, but that's a great play. Again, you talked about a team off a bye. He saw that. He read that. He knew it was coming, and there's just physicality we talked about in the opening. You're not going to block him or the receiver, sir. That's just not happening. 9 is not going to get it done. Glassmeyer there for the big hit.
But now let's see how the Spiders react without 2 starters on defense. Oh, they react just fine. Thank you very much. And there's a quarterback sack again for the nation's leader in quarterback sacks. Jeremiah Grant now has 8.5 on the season.
Pressure coming early, and then Grant finishes up, leads the nation with 8.5 sacks, 1.25 sacks per game. That's the consistency. Let's take a look at this one. Who gets there first? Looks like Camden Bird's there, causes the rush, and then Grant comes and finishes him up. Secures the sack, takes him down.
And his sacks have been significant. That's a 17-yard loss. In his 8.5 quarterback sacks, that's accounted for 84 yards of negative offense. Marker throws for the sideline. Lutz makes the catch, but the Spiders will give him that. Trey Tomlinson makes sure he doesn't go any further because they are a long ways beyond the sticks, and the Spider defense with a terrific series.
That's an outstanding series by that defense. My concern was you had Jordan Allen. That's a tough position to come in for Jabril Hayes, but hey, here's what you do. You cover him up. You get pressure on the quarterback. You get big tackles by Glassmeyer. You get right off the field, 3rd down. Excellent job by this defense.
Josh Cupid to punt for the first time. He averages 43.4 yards per punt. Nick DeGennaro will stare into the bright sunshine to try and bring this one down. High, wobbling, short kick. DeGennaro with the fair catch will give this Richmond offense good field position up at about the Spider 42-yard line. Richmond with the 14-3 lead with 13:01 to go here in the second quarter. No doubt the bye week has absolutely helped the Spiders. Look at those numbers against the Delaware defense, Chris, that is first in the league, giving up only 301 yards of total offense, and the Spiders are already at 142.
But they've given up some plays in the air. And right now I know if you're Richmond, you don't want to get, go back to the run and take the gas off.
Don't get conservative if you're Coach October,
I would keep
right?
throwing the ball here. Make them come out of this offense and allow you to get the ball to ZPS.
Pistol formation. The Spiders try to run it, and the words weren't out of your mouth fast enough. And that play did not work. Delaware showing why it is number one in the league against the rush. And, Chris, a little bit of an unusual defensive lineup, right? They go with just 3 down linemen, right, and yet their rush defense is still so good.
Yeah, they do, but they've got behind that, they've got, 5 linebackers, they'll go 3-3-5,
yep,
and they'll do things like that. But they've got a lot of athletes on the field, a lot of guys who can run. And those guys up front, those 3 guys, a lot of times if one of them or one of them can demand a double team, makes a huge difference, opens up gaps for those linebackers.
Coleman empties the backfield, wants to throw, scrambles. He's on the run. He's got running room. He'll pick up the first down and much more than that. At the numbers, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the 2-yard line goes Cam Coleman. Mark him at the 1. He just missed the pylon.
How about Coleman seeing the blitz, seeing what's going on, had to give the ball back to the ref. But I just love the recognition here and then just taking off. Hey, if everybody's blitzing here, I'm outside. Nobody's out there. Watch the blitz right here. Boom. Here comes another one. Boom. Gets outside. Nobody's there. Let's go. Tuck and run. We're not even going to think about it. We're just trying to make a play. We're not sliding. We're trying to get to this end zone because it's a big game.
I love his head on a swivel there. Did you see his eyes?
Boy, he was close.
As he was looking around to see who was coming after him and how far he could get, and then he smelled the end zone. Didn't quite get there.
I think they're going to take a look at this. I didn't see him step out of bounds.
I think maybe his foot hit the sideline, but they will look at it.
Yeah, you can see the Richmond bench kind of going crazy. Yeah. I didn't see his foot go out of bounds. If his foot didn't go out of bounds, he fell into the end zone.
At the moment, it's a 59-yard run. The Spiders are hoping it's going to be a 60-yard run. Certainly head coach Russ Huseman thinks so, but I'll tell you that's what I saw, Chris, and then he's definitely out. He's certainly out.
Okay.
So it'll be a 59-yard run. And put it at the 1-yard line.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to move. I think they got it right.
Man, he looked close to me. When his foot hit, we don't really have that angle coming
of
across
where the ball
side.
was. Yeah.
Right, but he looks close to me.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not at the 2. It's definitely at the 1 or inside the 1. There.
Ooh. I think they're going to call that the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
And it did not take them long either on this review.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's first and goal at the 1.
Yep, I think they got that right. And it'll be first and goal for the Spiders at the 1. But that's now a 59-yard run, longest of Cam Coleman's career. And the Spiders are up to 59 yards rushing. Again, remember this is a Delaware team that gives up about 92 yards on the ground. Those are the big plays you're looking for, right? Whether in the air or on the ground.
And that one was just good old-fashioned, just being a football player, recognition. Right now, everything's coming here. There's nobody out here. I'd love a little QB sneak tush push, but let's see if we get in the hands of ZPS on this one.
Spiders will go from the gun on first and goal from the Delaware 1-yard line. It's Zach Palmer-Smith untouched into the end zone. ZPS with his 8th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Spiders put their 3rd straight touchdown on the board.
8th touchdown of the year for Zach Palmer-Smith. That was big boy ball right there. How often do you see that untouched down at the end zone? Everybody's on that front line, and once you break through, there's nothing there but end zone. He can smell it and gets it done. Spiders go up 20-3 here for the extra point.
There's Zach Palmer-Smith taking advantage of that terrific offensive line. Nobody touched him into the end zone, and Brandon Peskin is now 3 for 3 this afternoon, and the Spiders have taken a 21-3 lead on Delaware with 11:14 to go here in the second quarter.
Tell you, let's take a look at here. Here's the big run, and here, like I said, here comes the blitz. Spiders miss it a little bit, but Coleman doesn't miss it. He sees it, gets outside, and he's just an athlete right there. Just running, getting what you get. Guys are going with him. Look at that. Garcia getting down the field, almost gets in the end zone. Not a problem at all. Spiders will line up, get in the hands of Zach Palmer-Smith, and ride the back of this great offensive line and get in the end zone.
Chris, I think this score is going to open some eyes around the CAA, right? Not so much that Richmond is winning, but we all expect this, and it still could be a very close game. Remember how good Delaware is in the second half.
Absolutely.
But this will open up some eyes. And how about the other games? Maine absolutely thrashed Villanova today, 35-7, and Stony Brook on the road, 52-24, victory at Towson. So it's another day in the CAA, as you like to say,
in the
partner.
CAA. Hey, you never know what you can expect. All you know is that there's going to be great football played, teams that are physical, plenty of athletes. You come to a CAA game, you're guaranteed no matter what game you're seeing, there's going to be somebody playing on Sundays in a year or two, and you got to feel good about that. Spiders, I think, have executed. They just understand if there's an issue right now, it's defensive depth. So we got to be aggressive. We got to make plays, and we got to get off the field. They got a turnover last time and three and out last time, and a turnover before that, keeping this defense fresh.
Spider defense has throttled this high-powered Maine offense. This is Joe Nathan Silver turning the left corner and picking up good yardage up to the 40-yard line. That'll be a 15-yard run after the touchback on the kickoff. Joe Nathan Silver, the 5'10 junior out of Washington Township, New Jersey. He had 50 yards and a touchdown on a 40-yard run last week in the win over Maine.
One of the first few missed tackles for the Spider defense there. And, yeah, this is if you're the Delaware Blue Hands, you want to answer the call. This is a big drive for them.
From the 40, Marker with the drop, hit just as he throws, and Tomlinson goes up. Can't get it, and it's caught by the Delaware receiver, Joe Bermudez. 50-50 ball. It looked like Trey Tomlinson was in perfect position, and Bermudez comes up with the catch.
That's a big one. Look, that's a big-time play, and good teams, they figure out a way. But like I said, if you want to beat a great team like Delaware, you get these opportunities, you got to make this play. If you can't get it, you got to get it on the ground. Tomlinson is right there, just misreads it. Receiver makes a good play.
Marker again to throw. He's going for the end zone, and he throws this one away into double coverage. Trainer was back there, and Tomlinson was back there on Bermudez. And, boy, they're giving JoJo Bermudez some targets today, right? He hasn't played since the first week of the season, and they think he can really help them offensively, it appears.
I was another one just watching plenty of film. I saw they run this play a lot, and they run it well, that just deep dig across the field. Generally, when a quarterback has time, it's hard to stop. That time the Spiders had two people in good coverage. Jordan Allen's in the game, and I think they definitely trying to attack him right now.
Little pistol formation on second down. Marker on the run, being chased by Bird, and Camden Bird shoves him hard onto the sideline. Clean, hard hit by Bird as Marker was still in bounds, and he is maybe a little bit ginger on that right knee. He talked with the media this week, Chris, about that right knee and coming back from the injury, and he actually said he feels he's better more mentally since the injury than physically. Does that make sense?
That definitely makes sense. You can't do the things maybe you could do physically before, so you have to learn different aspects of the game. That's going to be the mental aspect.
3rd and 9. He throws over the middle, and he's got a man this time. That's a perfect pass inside the 20 and down to the 10. It'll be a first down as Phil Lutz, the offensive player of the week in the CAA, makes the catch.
First time we're hearing Phil Lutz's name. This is, again, that deep dig. This is one of, if not the route, in my opinion, the hardest route to cover. And so if you don't get
pressure on the quarterback, and he's able to sit back and step into that. That's a tough route to cover.
So Delaware looking to answer here. This is an impressive drive. Marker's going for the end zone, and it's caught. Phil Lutz now has a touchdown in 7 consecutive games, an all-time Delaware record as he hauls that one in on the back line of the end zone.
Great job by Lutz, again, coming across the field. He just does a good job of getting just enough. He just gets a shoulder or so in front of the corner. There's no safety presence there, so I don't know if the safety left to see something else. The big thing is no pressure. No pressure at all. This is just a route where your quarterback's able to sit there, nothing in his face, and deliver that right across the, straight across the field. That's a tough one to stop for defensive backs.
So, look, they're not 6-0 for nothing, right? And they're not scoring 40-plus points a game for nothing. And that's an excellent response to the Spider touchdown. And now they're going to go for 2, and Marker's pass is intercepted. And here come the Spiders back up the sideline, but they won't be able to take it all the way back, but they will take the opportunity to make that play as Jordan Allen picks up the interception for the Spiders, and the 2-point conversion is no good.
Jordan Allen read that the whole way, picks it off, and if he takes that back, his points on the board.
Instead, we get a timeout with 9:05 to go in a very exciting first half. 21-9 Richmond. Spiders get the ball on the Delaware kickoff after the break. Explain to me. So life on this Delaware sideline now after the 6-play, 75-yard drive in 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And Zach Marker is already 11 of 16, 121 yards, and that touchdown. And if we flip to the other sideline, Sean, you've been listening into some of the conversations. Pretty much what Chris Anderson was just saying, the Spider coach is imploring that defense to get more pressure, huh?
That's right, Bob. Chris said it in the cleaner version, the FCC version, but Coach Huseman very upset on that last series. He told defensive coordinator Justin Wood, tell your guys to get more pressure on Marker. He said he had too many clean opportunities on that drive. He looked way too comfortable.
Tell you what, Coach Houston played defensive back like me. We know what it's like being back there in the situations like 7-on-7 when the quarterback has no pressure. You need him running for his life just a little bit. Makes my life a little bit easier on the back end.
Another touchback there for Nate Reed. That was close to almost going out of bounds down there at the goal line, which would have given the Spiders some extra yardage, but they won't. They'll start at the 25. Cam Coleman is 10 of 14, 140 yards, and the 1 touchdown pass to Nick DeGennaro. Now let's see what the Spider offense can do that has scored touchdowns on each of its past 3 possessions and has the 21-9 lead. Delaware went for 2 and failed after that touchdown. Zach Palmer-Smith with good running room this time gets tripped up at the 40-yard line. That'll be his best run of the afternoon. That's a 15-yard gain.
Such a chess match. Just watching defense coordinator Manny versus offense coordinator Winston October. It's just a chess match because they want to line up and stop the run.
Palmer again and moves the pile this time. How many times have we seen him do that this season? And that's an excellent first down run of 6 yards out to the 46-yard line.
Blue Hens want to line up and stop the run. Spiders really want to run the ball when they can. They'll pass it if they have to, and they've shown they can be successful.
2nd and 4. Coleman on the quarterback draw will pick up the first down and more into Delaware territory.
It just has a different feel of when you're running and they're expecting it. Here it's almost like a trick play. They're not looking for it, not expecting that. He's at the second level before he's touched. Good lead blocker there. First person to touch him is a safety.
Yeah, that was really good blocking. One on the linebacker on Gavin Moll, who's a really, really good linebacker. They're missing probably their best linebacker. Here comes another handoff and a shorter gain this time to the 40-yard line. Delaware playing without Dylan Traynor, their grad linebacker, their captain, who has been out the last several games with an injury. We were talking with Ryan Carty this week, and he said he's the loudest injured player that we have during practice.
Well, I'll tell
he
you
is
what.
all over the place, and the good news is he said he will play again this season, but it won't be today.
His game and his play is loud when he's on that field. He is a playmaker. He's a dominating figure. And under that, the Blue Hen defense wants him back as soon as possible.
They've still been pretty good, even without him out there. 2nd down and 7 for the Spiders from the UD 40. Coleman wants to go back to the air. Excellent, clean pocket. He throws at a diving catch by Matt Robert, who just continues to impress from that tight end position, and he picks up a Spider first down. Hands of glue on that one by Robert, who also looks to be a bit shaken up and is going to come out of the game.
Yeah, he was well covered and still makes a great catch. They had double moves on the outside. That's where Coleman wanted to take a shot, comes back to Robert. And can't see it. Maybe he just came down on that shoulder.
That's
gets
what
up
it looked
gingerly.
like. Yeah, it looks like he hit that shoulder, the right shoulder, hard on the turf. Boy, he has been, we've called him this over and over again, an unsung hero.
Really has.
We had him on our podcast this week, and he kind of liked that phraseology. A little bit of a Statue of Liberty type play there, almost from Coleman, who froze with the ball in his hand, and then on the draw, handed it off to Zach Palmer-Smith. And, Chris, look at this now. Yards on the ground. The Spiders have more rushing yards here in the first half than Delaware gives up in a game. The Blue Hens average 92 yards. We have mentioned that figure. And with that run there, the Spiders are over 100 yards rushing here in the first half.
Just showing some different looks. Even that one, that was a delay. So as you're coming, do I go after the quarterback or do I go after the running back? He hands it off at the last minute, so it's almost like a draw.
2nd and 3. Coleman out of the backfield. ZPS makes the catch. He's inside the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. The Spiders down.
Just interesting because as you practice, you know all these plays are in the playbook, but you're waiting for the moment to use them, and you're hoping they work in a game-like scenario. And so far, the Spiders have had a lot of success with plays that you know they're in the playbook, but you haven't seen them run yet this year.
That is already the Spiders' 13th first down of the first half. They average 19 a game. Coleman, back shoulder throw is caught at the 10-yard line, right at the first down marker. Nick DeGennaro makes the reception, and it will be 1st and goal. That was a long throw by Coleman to DeGennaro.
That's a relationship route. That is a relationship route in terms of those two. You can just tell a lot of hours and time practicing together because, DeGennaro wasn't even sure, should I go, should I stop, should I go? It was basically a read route, and Coleman read it, put it out there. DeGennaro made responded to it and got the catch in the first down.
Give him 9. Call it 2nd down and 1. And I believe Richmond.
First charge timeout.
Quality
Richmond.
timeout here.
Yep, we'll use the
timeout.
timeout here. Another really impressive drive by the Spiders. Coming up will be the 9th play already of this drive, chewing time off of the clock. And now the Richmond offense responding to the Delaware touchdown. Back and forth between these two heavyweights.
Absolutely, and I think you hit the nail on the head. This is not a game that can be won with field goals. So that's the conversation. If you're Coach Huseman over there, like, hey, take a timeout, figure this out. We need a touchdown. That's the goal here. You're in field goal range, but you got 4 downs to get into the end zone.
Well, this is almost like you could get a couple of extra plays out of it if you're successful, right? Instead of it being 1st and goal, You're at 2nd and 1 from basically the same spot, the 7-yard line. You'd love to just power it in right here, but you could run a couple of extra plays to get to the end zone. 2nd and 1. Zach Palmer-Smith stood up at the line of scrimmage. Forward progress will take him to the 6 and will give the Spiders that first down. It'll be 1st and goal at the 6. A very hard-earned 1 yard there. Jason Scott, the grad safety, transfer from Boston College, made the stop.
Good call, partner. Good call. Running that clock a little bit.
We'll be under 4 minutes here as the Spiders snap the ball. 1st and goal at the Delaware 6-yard line. The Spiders are 2 for 3 inside the red zone.
We've seen Coleman keep it twice now, 2 or 3 times this game, so that opens it up. He's another threat now.
Zach Palmer-Smith gets the first shot at it, but he's going to be shoved back. Might have lost a half a yard. Generously, they'll spot him at the original line of scrimmage at the 6, where it'll be 2nd down and goal. And again, to both of our points, you want to get in the end zone, not through the goalposts, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
3.5
I think
minutes.
you feel good about what Coleman's doing. What I feel good about him was, the time where he took off and got the long run. That gives me confidence. I'm going to throw the ball. If it's not there, he'll put it down, run it, see if he can get in the end zone.
2nd and goal from the 6. Coleman with the sidearm pass on the right side, and diving into the end zone is Matt Robert for his first Richmond Spider touchdown. The senior tight end transfer from Cornell. 6 more for number 6.
Love everything about that play. Robert getting his first down, the sidearm pass from Coleman, seeing the rush, getting it in hands. Robert was banged up, comes back in the game to deliver with a big play, a big touchdown, his first one in his Richmond career. Outstanding play. Good blocking on the outside by J5 into the end zone. That's just well executed. Good job by the Spider offense.
The last thing that Christian Gravis, our football PR director, and I said to Matt Robert as we co-hosted that podcast with him this week is, we got to call your name in the end zone soon, Matt. And he said, it's coming.
It's
and
coming.
Here it is.
And you do it because you keep making plays. It's the big blocks that we don't talk about. It's the big catches, the 3rd down that kept this drive going. And then it's the plays like that, sidearm. Getting that end zone.
11 plays, 75 yards, 5 minutes and 58 seconds. And this Richmond offense has exploded this afternoon.
I came into this game saying, based on, watching a ton of film, looking at Delaware, I was like, man, I think the Spiders are going to need 35, 40 points to secure the win, just again because of the health of the Spider defense. But Spider defense has done a good job of getting off the field for the most part. And the Spider offense is making Delaware one-dimensional when you pull away like this.
And the Spiders putting up some numbers against the Blue Hens that they haven't really seen this season. Jakari Kelly on the return, and he's flipped head over heels right at the 20-yard line. I think that was Zach Chambers again, the redshirt sophomore out of nearby Glen Allen High School, who made the tackle.
It was Jordan Allen in there, actually. Jordan Allen who's doing a lot of playing now.
Yep, Jordan Allen, you're right.
Yeah, with Jabril Hayes out, Jordan Allen's going to have to do a little bit of everything. He's played some safety. He's played some linebacker. He's our do-it-all guy, and he's put into a tough bind right here. Making good plays, though.
Now, Delaware has 3 minutes before halftime. Blue Hens with all of their timeouts plus the 2-minute timeout. Pass is dropped by Phil Lutz. You don't see that very often. The sure-handed wide receiver who has the touchdown catch.
Chance Graves was in good coverage, though. He saw it. Even if that's caught, it's not going to be for much. Chance Graves getting a lot of playing time today.
Yep.
I think he's earned it. What I like about him, at coverage, he's good, but he tackles well.
Well, he's coming off his best game as a Spider, the career-high 9 tackles, recovered a fumble in the A&T game. Lutz doesn't drop this one. He makes the helmet-high catch. Graves makes the tackle, but not before Phil Lutz has the first down up to the 33-yard line.
Pressure's on. Pressure's on the quarterback on that one. Got to continue to put that type of pressure. He delivers it, but there was a lot of air under that ball. You want that quarterback throwing off his back foot.
Marker throwing a lot of passes here in the first half. Throws another one to Lutz. Just got that foot down on the sideline up at the 40. Boy, he's throwing a lot of passes, Chris. He's up to 19 pass attempts already here in the first quarter. Last week against Maine, he was 20 of 31.
And Lutz is his guy. And I talked about Lutz. He'll lull you to sleep, and he's fast enough to get behind you, and he can also break tackles and take a short one and make it a long one.
Wants to throw again. Here comes pressure. He avoids Jeremiah Grant. He's on the run to the sideline. He throws down that sideline. He was right at the line of scrimmage when he released that ball. Will they make it a catch over there on the sideline or incomplete?
No, definitely was
incomplete.
Chance Graves comes across and knocks that out.
I was kind of looking at where he threw that ball
too.
from. He was right at the marker at the 40. That's Justin Wood, the Spider defensive coordinator. Drew Anthony, the safeties coach, and Coach Huseman.
2 minutes on the clock here. I would think, 3rd and 3, I think that they'll definitely throw the ball. I was looking for that all eyes on Lutz right here. Some type of dragger coming across.
That's Bermudez in motion to the near side. Marker is going to scramble again to the far side. This time he'll run. He has the first down, and he'll get out of bounds safely at midfield, which will bring us to that 2-minute timeout with 1:55 to go before halftime. This is a huge sequence for Delaware going into the locker room because the Blue Hens will also get the ball coming out of the locker room. But it's been a prolific first half for the Spiders. They have put 28 on the board already, the second most points Delaware's defense has given up in a game all season long. We still got a lot of game to go, folks. Come back with us. 28-9 Spiders.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
Over 35 years ago, a simple idea sparked our journey to digitize the world's real estate, empowering all people to discover properties, insights, and connections that grow their businesses and lives, fueled by constant advancements, achieving new milestones each year. We're transforming an over $300 trillion industry. Imagine what we'll do next.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Richmond, trust Cabell Childress. He's my personal realtor.
He truly lives up to his motto of personal attention, proven results.
We had a really successful experience working with the Cabell Childress Group, and we would do it again in a heartbeat.
Cabell Childress and his team handled all aspects of our buying and selling experience, making our process stress-free.
They had a personalized game plan and followed it to success.
And I appreciate that old-fashioned hard work.
We know the Richmond real estate market, and that will get you a competitive advantage.
Richmond Athletics would like to thank CoStar Group and Bon Secours Health Systems for stepping up as cornerstone corporate partners. CoStar Group and Bon Secours, already pillars of the Richmond community, and their transformative commitment to Richmond Athletics shows that they can be counted on as cornerstone partners. Bob and Chris in the booth. Sean on the sideline. Old habits die hard on the radio side, I guess. We'll go down to Sean here in just a moment with some observations. That's a 2-minute timeout here. Delaware, 1st and 10, right at midfield, has all 3 of its timeouts. Marker throws and the pass is dropped. That's the second drop for Delaware receivers. That one was Bermudez. Sean, what did you notice there at the 2-minute timeout on that Spider sideline with the D?
Bob, the big thing was they were just tired. That 2-minute timeout was much needed for Richmond, especially Jeremiah Grant. He is trying to create any type of havoc and pressure in that offensive backfield for Delaware, but he seemed like he was the most tired. He kind of limped a little bit trying to get the quarterback on that series before the 2-minute timeout, but it looks like he's better right now.
Spiders show blitz, and here they come. Marker's pass is caught by Jake Thaw at the 42-yard line. You were asking for that, Chris,
right,
and Justin Wood dialed it up.
You got to support this defensive line. They're tired. They're used to going a rotation of 4 men, and they don't. There's no rotation at all.
Marker's going deep for Thaw, and it's knocked away at the last moment. Outstanding Spider defensive play. Is that
cute.
The linebacker, right?
That's
Quantrell Morris Walker, stride for stride with the wide receiver, Jake Thaw. What a play.
Fresh legs. Gets there, gets his head around, makes a play on the ball. Remember, he came in as a safety. Looks like a safety right there. Everything perfect. Gets his head around, makes it, strips in for the ball, finishes it all the way to the ground. Well executed right there.
The Idaho State transfer from Bellflower, California. I love that. Making plays for the Richmond, Virginia Spiders. 4th down.
Spiders showing blitz again.
Huge play with 90 seconds to go before the break. And Ryan Carty is going to use a timeout here.
Something they've seen, something they didn't like, something he hadn't seen before. And then when everybody walks up like that, you know everybody's not coming. But who's dropping back? Who's coming? It's 4th down. You can't afford confusion. Your quarterback's not super mobile. Good timeout by the Blue Hens.
So this isn't quite the same as last week, Chris. But Ryan Carty had a decision to make on the last play of the first half. He was 4th and goal and went for the touchdown at halftime, not the field goal, down 14-13 to Maine, and the Black Bears stuffed them, kept them out of the end zone, went into the locker room with a 14-13 lead, and then Delaware stormed back late in the 4th quarter to eventually win the game. But now he's got probably a little easier decision to go for it here, out of field goal range at the Spider 42-yard line.
Here's what I'll say about Carty in his 4th and 2. He is not afraid to take a shot deep.
Right.
He is not afraid to run everybody down or
Looks like
have
he's
one
doing
guy.
that with this formation, doesn't it? 5 wide for Delaware. Empty backfield, 4th and 2. Spider 42. Play clock winding down.
Man coverage.
Marker on the run, throws, pass caught, and then dropped. It's incomplete. Would have been a tough catch for Marcus Yarns, the running back out of the backfield. But Marker, who was on the run, didn't get enough on that throw, and it's incomplete, and the Spider defense holds again.
Oh, penalty comes down. Penalty flag. I don't know. Some type of celebration.
I think they're going to get
a
a celebration for all the Spider players who came on the field, but it will be after the play. Russ Huseman won't be happy about it.
The result of the play is an incomplete pass. It is Richmond's ball. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 16. That is his first of the game. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Well, Quantrell Morris Walker's having a big day. And he got a little overexcited after that play.
I thought it was what you said. Just too many guys on the field celebrating after that big play. You had half the team run on the field. Again, this defense, we talked about it. They're just diminished right now. They don't have the depth. They don't have the bodies, and they're just playing with all heart. And so that's a big one there. Minute 25. I think the Spiders would be happy if they could just, hold this thing and get into halftime with this lead.
Absolutely. Hold on to the ball here. No turnovers and run out the last 125. Delaware has 2 timeouts if it wants to try and get the ball back. And as we said, the Blue Hens will get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and they have been absolutely dominating in the second half of games this season. That's the type of first down play you want on the ground, keep the clock running, pick up 5 or 6 yards. That is a perfect first down run by Zach Palmer-Smith.
That is a vintage Zach Palmer-Smith. There was nothing there. There was no hole there. There was a crease. He found the crease, and he made 5 or 6 yards out of it. That is just a mature back. Again, I say it every week, slow to, fast through, get to that hole, patient. Just know what we need.
For the moment, Ryan Carty, the former Delaware quarterback on their national championship team back in the early 2000s, electing not to use his timeouts. He'll probably see what happens here on 2nd down and 4. Heavy dose of ZPS. He'll get maybe a yard or 2 to the 35, and now indeed Coach Carty will use the timeout with 33 seconds to go. The Spiders are Delaware. 3rd down and 2 at their 35. If they pick up a first down, they can run out the clock. If they don't, Coach Carty will use a timeout and force the Spiders to punt before halftime.
What's your call, Coach? What you got calling?
I would think
Black.
Those 3 letters ZPS. Either that or maybe a little RPO fake to
Correct.
ZPS and let Cam Coleman run the ball.
I like that. You know, and I know obviously you want to keep Cam Coleman safe and healthy, so I'm not having him do anything ridiculous. But if I can have him keep the ball and just pick up 2 yards, slide on the ground, and get to halftime, for me that would be a win.
I do notice, Chris, that Matt Robert has already left the field and is heading to the Spider locker room. So he banged up that shoulder. He came back in the game and caught the touchdown pass, but evidently he needs a little bit more medical attention, so he's already in the Spider locker room before half.
Take a look at it, make sure it's not anything too bad, maybe wrap him up if necessary.
3rd and 2. Coleman pumps once, pumps twice, and he's going to be sacked. Second sack of the day for the Delaware defense. The Spider offensive line's been great this year, had only given up 4 sacks all season, which was tied for first in the CAA, but 2 sacks for the Delaware D here in the half. And, of course, Coach Carty will use this timeout. And Aaron Trussler, a name we haven't called much in the first half, and that's a good thing, will come on for his second punt.
2-3, let it go. So a pump here, another pause. You can't expect the offensive line to protect you that long. Obviously, he was just being conservative, you know, which makes sense in this situation. Doesn't want to throw an interception, cause any problems. Takes the sack, live to play another day. Let's have Trussler see if he can get us a good punt here with no return. That would be the goal.
His first punt was 50 yards, but Jake Thaw returned it 27. You know who Jake Thaw was returning punts for last year?
Who's that?
The Michigan Wolverines.
Ah, that matters.
Yeah. Now, he was involved in one of the really scary plays in their semifinal game against Alabama last year where he fumbled the punt right before the end of regulation back at the 5-yard line. Oh, that's going to be a late hit on the Spiders as Thaw went down at the 15.
This is tough, man. This is tough. It looks like he kind of tripped and fell on Thaw at the end of the play. At least they're consistent.
After the play, personal foul. Kicking team, number 29. 15-yard penalty. It's first down.
This is big, though, right? Because it puts them in a situation where, you know, the tackle's made, he trips, falls.
There's and he hardly even hits him.
Right.
Wow. I know we try not to see this through red and blue glasses. We really do, friends. But that's 2 on the Spiders now that
I got a feeling, you know, sometimes you gotta feel the staff, and I think they call it like this all the time. Sometimes, you know, your group of referees is just hard on that type of stuff, and I think this staff is like that.
Marker's going to go back to the air. Here comes Spider pressure. He avoids a couple of tackles, throws on the run, and it's incomplete up at midfield. Boy, that play took a long time. Joe Nathan Silver, the running back, was out there at midfield trying to make that catch with 10 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, and I saw Lighty taking off on a streak straight down the field. I think he was the first option, but we get a rush there, able to break a couple tackles and just tries to get rid of it. Pops up, almost picked off by the Spiders.
And now Ryan Carty's going to say, let's get to the locker room and let's regroup, because this is a great first half for the home team. The red-clad on red-out Robins, presented by Chesapeake Bank. Spiders charge to their locker room. Very impressive first half with a 28-9 Richmond lead at the break. Cam Coleman and the Spider offense getting it done in the first 30 minutes. We're going to send it down to the field for our Bar West Coaches Corner halftime conversation. Sean Robertson with Spider head coach Russ Huseman.
Thanks, Bob. You scored touchdowns, Coach, on your last four of your last 5 possessions to end the first half, and you did it through the air, something you had talked about all week.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing good. You know, we're protecting him. Sometimes they're bringing 3-man rush, even when they bring pressure. I think our guys got a pretty good scheme, but, you know, they're going to make adjustments at halftime and try to figure out what to do. This game is way, way, way far from over. No question about that.
You also talked about turnover margin. They were plus 12 coming into today. You got a couple of turnovers in that first half. What have you liked about your defense?
We're playing hard. We're getting them on the ground. You know, that one drive where they scored, I wasn't real happy with us. We should have had a pick down there. We got a guy. I mean, you got to go up and get a 50-50 ball or not let him catch the football. I mean, that's ridiculous there. But for the most part, they've been playing pretty hard, pretty good.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thank you.
Coach Huseman right now seem pretty happy with his Spiders up 28-9 at the break.
Certainly the crowd here at Robins Stadium. The Spider faithful have been happy on a beautiful Saturday afternoon and a 28-9 Spider lead at the break. All right, our Bryant Heating and Cooling halftime show. Chesapeake Bank. We're going to find out more about our partner and presenting sponsor today, Chesapeake Bank. That's coming up. Plus, we'll have the highlights, the stats, and out-of-town scores. All coming up on the Bryant Heating and Cooling halftime show. It's coming your way right after the break with Richmond leading Delaware 28-9 in a battle of CAA unbeatens.
When it comes to local sports talk, there is only one choice, 106.1 ESPN. We do it every weekday with Big Al in the morning, plus Matt Josephs and Bob Black in the afternoon. 106.1 ESPN, streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Luck Chevrolet is the Chevy truck expert, period. If you use your truck for work, play, or both, go where the truck guys go. Luck has a truck for every budget. Luck is the dealer to help your business be more productive. They've got all types of commercial vehicles, SUVs, and regular trucks available to replace your aging vehicle inventory. In person on Route 1 in Ashland or online at luckchevrolet.com. Buy your new truck from Luck Chevrolet in Ashland.
When a market shift is around the corner, invest in an entire sector and get ahead of the curve. Is it so radical to be so rational? Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Go to sectorspiders.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully. Sector Spiders, the 11 sectors of the S&P 500.
Hey, which school did she decide on? She's still only 5. Come on! I think she should go to all the colleges.
Honey, where's that sticker stuff?
Invest 529 accounts can be used at all public, private, and even out-of-state schools. Learn more at invest529.com.
Whichever one you hit first wins.
When it comes to local sports talk, there is only one choice, 106.1 ESPN. We do it every weekday with Big Al in the morning, plus Matt Josephs and Bob Black in the afternoon. 106.1 ESPN, streaming on the iHeartRadio app.
Back at Robins Stadium, we have reached halftime. The Spiders and the Delaware Blue Hens on our Red Out Robins, presented by Chesapeake Bank Saturday afternoon. Come on back into our broadcast booth. Bob Black back with you at halftime. Thrilled to be joined. As I mentioned, this is Red Out Robins, presented by Chesapeake Bank. Kevin Hill is Regional Branch Manager for Chesapeake Bank. Thanks for being with us, Kevin.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
So take us through what Chesapeake Bank is all about. I would say you're kind of one of our newer partners, and we're thrilled to have you. Give us a little bit of the background on Chesapeake.
Absolutely. So Chesapeake Bank is a bank that actually started about 1900 in Kilmarnock, Virginia. We actually had a boat bank. And so we expanded down to Richmond in 2016 as far as a branch. And so we really believe in community, doing things like this, making sure that we're taking care of the people that take care of us.
Talk a little bit about the relationships and maybe the phrase people focus that I know you guys zero in on.
Absolutely. So technology is a big thing, and people love technology, but we believe that the core is the people. So we want to make sure that we bring it back to the people and add technology to it so that way we can have people such as myself as a regional manager for the Richmond area that can still come out and do these events, still talk to the people, making sure that people know who they're talking to when they call in.
Kevin, dive a little bit deeper into community association, community involvement, and things like being a partner with the University of Richmond.
Absolutely. So one of the things that we really believe in is making sure that we take care of nonprofits, take care of kids. I'm a part of Humankind, which is also another nonprofit that we work with. Again, like you said, the University of Richmond. And again, just things throughout the Richmond area and Virginia as a whole, because we're always looking to give back to the communities, again, that we serve.
What are some of the things you do in your role with Chesapeake?
So for me being a regional manager, we have 5 locations in Richmond. 2 of them are traditional freestanding branches, and 3 are in our retirement centers. So pretty much what I do is I manage our managers when it comes to those different things. So just making sure, again, that we're customer focused, people focused, and also making sure that we keep our people at the forefront.
One of the other things that I know you do, and you were mentioning kids, I'm going to talk a little older kids, college age kids.
Absolutely,
Because
yes,
you're
sir.
working with some of our Spider student athletes on financial education, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So the beautiful thing about that is you get to see a lot of different people in a different backgrounds. So not everybody is money savvy as we would love them to be. So it gives us the opportunity to kind of understand and have that connection. I'm 40 years old, so I don't think of myself as old. But some
You're
of the
not.
kids probably think I am old.
Yeah,
So,
maybe.
it's about just having conversations with them, making sure that they're responsible when it comes to the money, because we want to make sure that people have money long into the future for their short-term goals and their long-term goals.
Something really popular and very important,
Absolutely.
particularly at their age and in college. What's kind of the feedback you've gotten from them? How has this kind of gone with our student athletes?
It's actually been very, very interesting. So I do a class with another one of our employees by the name of Thomas Claiborne, and it's been really, really great. They come up to us all the time and say thank you, things that they don't even realize that they could do to kind of save money, help build their credit, so that way when they do graduate, they could go and buy those homes, get married, buy those cars that they're looking to do.
They're going to thank you for a long, long time, and we thank you for your
Absolutely.
partnership and making this Red Out Robins Saturday here at Robins Stadium. Kevin
Absolutely.
Hill, thanks so much.
My pleasure. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, that's Kevin Hill, Regional Branch Manager from Chesapeake Bank, our presenting sponsor today of Red Out Robins, presented by Chesapeake Bank. We're at halftime. Chris Anderson and I are coming back with more from Red Out Robins after this. Rolling along with our Bryant Heating and Cooling halftime show. Again, thanks to Kevin Hill from Chesapeake Bank, our presenting sponsor today, for joining us up here in the booth at intermission. It's been Spiders in the first half, 28-9, and Spiders through the air, Chris. We'll take a look at some of the highlights. Cam Coleman goes 14 of 18 in the first half and set the tone early to J5, Javion Griffin.
I'll tell you what, and he's like normal. First couple pass plays were off, but after that, he rattles off a bunch. And again, Spiders just came out with the mentality that we have to attack deep. I love that aggression right there from Cam Coleman. Understanding the moment, we got to get in the end zone. This is going to be a touchdown type of game. We need to score touchdowns. Again, just getting in the hands of multiple receivers, moving it around. If they want to sit in there and stop the run,
Got to get it around.
And this is the kind of day we were expecting and hoping for from that guy, right? Nick DeGennaro, Spiders all-conference wide receiver, 4 catches, 81 yards, and that touchdown. And Cam Coleman doing it with his legs, huh?
Here's the big one. This is a recognition. I just kept saying what I loved about that was just recognition, realizing where the blitz is coming. And if they're going to do that, that means there's no spy out there for you taking off, being an athlete, and almost getting in the end zone. Delaware gets it back. Again, you're not 6-0 on accident. Had pressure there. This is the play Coach Houston was talking about at the end of the half, 50-50 ball. You got to knock that down or secure it, because if you don't, good teams will make you pay, and they'll get 6 with it.
Which they did from Dr. Phil, as they like to call him, Phil Lutz with the touchdown. Seventh straight. Yep, seventh straight game with a touchdown.
Robert, we talked about we need to get him in the end zone. He gets in the end zone.
And we'll keep an eye on him, see if he comes out of the locker room at halftime, because he did bang up his shoulder and went into the locker room even before the rest of the team did at halftime. So it adds up. 28-9, Richmond lead at the break. We've got scores and stats coming up for you next as our Bryant Heating and Cooling halftime show continues from Robins Stadium.
Stay tuned to learn more about this limited time offer from Renewal by Andersen.
We all have that list of home improvement projects we need to do, and if replacing your home's windows and doors is on that list, you want to know that it's going to be affordable. I'm from Renewal by Andersen, and we've helped thousands of customers who are on a budget get our windows and doors for their home. How do we do it? Well, here's something you don't expect to hear from a window company. You don't have to upgrade all your windows and doors at the same time. We're really good at identifying the bad windows and those you can wait on replacing. And here's something we offer that you don't find with a lot of window companies or contractors: great financing options. With Renewal by Andersen, you can have monthly payments that'll probably be lower than your cable bill. With another program, you can get windows and doors now and not pay anything for an entire year. It's almost like free money. No wonder half of our customers finance. Before we talk about the warranty, think about other things you've bought. Did it sometimes feel like you had to buy the expensive extended warranty to get the good coverage? That's never the case with us. Our windows are so durable and our installers are so talented. Unlike some other companies, our warranties cover the windows, patio doors, and the installation.
It's really impressive that they sell the product, they manufacture the product, they install the product, because then you're dealing with one company, and you're dealing with one company that has a long-standing and solid reputation.
Let Renewal by Andersen help put great windows and doors in your budget this year.
For a limited time, when you buy one window, patio door, or entry door, you'll get the next one 40% off. That's 40% off. And our financing can help make this project more affordable. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. Get new windows and doors now and don't pay anything for 18 months. Call Renewal by Andersen today for a free appointment. 804-510-0122.
CAA football is action-packed.
CAA football is thrilling.
CAA football is gritty.
CAA football is competitive.
CAA football is grit and grind.
CAA football is exciting.
CAA football is tough.
CAA football is relentless.
CAA football is persistent.
CAA football is incredible.
CAA football is excellence.
CAA football is lights out.
CAA football is the standard.
CAA football united in excellence.
Delaware Blue Hens already back on the field getting ready for the second half, so that means their head coach Ryan Carty is out along the sideline, and he's with our Sean Robertson. Sean?
Thanks, Bob. Coach, first half seemed like Richmond was able to do what they were able to do, running and passing. What was the message at half?
Yeah, I think we had a couple of times where we were trying to do a little too much. We just got to do our job. You know, we've been in situations like this before. In order to get out of them, we have to make sure we have one stop at a time, one play at a time on offense, defense, and special teams. Just do our job, count on the guy next to you to do theirs.
You get the ball to start the second half, the importance of scoring at least a field goal in this drive.
Yeah, and I don't think field goals are going to really do it for us from now on. So I think we have to go out there again, execute. You know, we haven't been getting stopped a ton. We stopped ourselves with a mistake in the first drive and then had a fumble in the second one, and that's on us. And that's something we haven't been doing a lot this year, and we have to continue to not do it now.
Thanks for the time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, back to you.
All right, and a couple notes off of that before we go to the Bryant Heating and Cooling scoreboard there, Chris. Ryan Carty's team has scored on its opening drive of the second half in 5 of its 6 games this season, to accentuate Sean's conversation with Coach Carty.
And I'm sure that conversation, that exact stat is being stated in that Richmond locker room right now. Let's get out here. Let's get a stop ASAP, and let's get the ball back in the hands of our offense.
All right, so maybe you'd say, if you're across the CAA today, that this is a surprising score at halftime. How about some of these surprising scores, highlighted by Maine's 35-7 win over Villanova and Stony Brook at Towson, 52-24.
Just trying to figure it out, man. But again, another day in the CAA, so you can only be so surprised. It's less about the wins, but more like how they won. Maine 35-7. That's a beatdown. That's a big time win. Hampton is they're on our schedule. We've been impressed with them. They've got one of the best offenses, rushing games in the conference. Stony Brook. Man, we know about that Stony Brook offense, but it's totally different from Billy Kosh. They're running the ball. They're running all over teams. Rhode Island, again, 6-1 over New Hampshire, perennial powerhouse. And then you got the Monmouth. Monmouth is going to put up 50 against whoever they play just about. And William & Mary beats Campbell, Elon, and Albany. It's a tough day in the CAA.
Spiders are on their way to Bryant next week, coming off of that loss to Monmouth. Next Saturday afternoon on the road. And you said it, maybe the surprise team in the CAA is Rhode Island, now 6-1 and 3-0 in the conference. Second half of our game coming up from Robins Stadium.
Win the half.
Good job. Well, not that we think any of you in our very loyal viewing audience would ever leave us just because it's 28-9 at halftime. Here's your cautionary tale. Delaware's outscored its opponent in every quarter this season, and its best quarter has been this third quarter, 68-7. And they have outscored their opponents 131-41 in the second half. So don't touch that dial. Here we go. Second half. Richmond and Delaware underway. Mason Pollard with the return and great coverage again by special teams for the Spiders making that tackle. And the Blue Hens will start at the 20-yard line.
And the Blue Hens' success in the second half, they generally score on this first drive of the third quarter. And what you're going to see is, in my watching film, they're going to run the ball and they're going to look for Phil Lutz, and they're going to keep it all simple and hope one of those break.
Zach Marker, 14 of 25, 143 yards in the first half. He throws off his back foot for Lutz, who makes a diving catch. No, could not have. Catch for a guy who's had his share of highlights this season.
Yeah, Chance Graves is with him and kind of loses him at the last second. And you can tell this quarterback, he trusts Lutz because he will put it up there on his back foot, put air under it, and just trust that Lutz will make the play for him.
You know, he was asked this week about Lutz. He said, "Why do you guys call him Dr. Phil?" And Zach Marker said, "Well, you know the TV host, Dr. Phil, he's old and intelligent, and we think Phil Lutz is old and intelligent.
He's a playmaker."
And they call him Dr. Phil. Didn't make that one. Oh, great rush defense. That Spider defense, that was Matthew Traynor coming up from his safety position to make the stop.
Coming up, yep, Matthew Traynor.
That's what he loves to do best, right? Hit people.
Big third down right here. Spiders have moved Jeremiah Grant inside and brought in Hodges on the outside. They're expecting a pass here. Got the young guy out there to rush.
It's coming, and here comes the Spider rush. But Marker's got all sorts of running room, and he'll slide down, pick up the first down very smartly at about the 34-yard line. And for a guy who plays with a right knee injury and a brace, he's a pretty courageous runner, I got to say that.
And this is just understanding, right? There's no spy. There's nobody out for you. Everybody's in coverage. So if they don't get here, I'm going to take off running and just get just enough, just what he needs. That's a big play, and it keeps the drive going.
Out to the 34-yard line. Out of the pistol formation, the handoff to Yarns, and he doesn't get anything.
Galloway's there.
As he has been all afternoon.
Matei Fitz getting off of the bottom of that pile. Again, I'll just keep saying it. Just tough play by this front four of the Spiders that normally have a lot of guys in rotation. That is not the case today.
I'm going to check in here in a moment with Sean Roberts, and he's got a couple of injury updates for us. One of them is on Jabril Hayes, who's not in the game, and Jordan Allen, the redshirt sophomore, is getting a lot of snaps at that safety position this afternoon. Marker throws, pass is caught. Spiders with excellent coverage on that play, however, and even after the catch, Max Patterson makes the catch, the Rutgers transfer. He might have actually lost another yard after he caught the ball, trying to circle back, and it'll be 3rd and 4.
Good job by Tomlinson. He's right there. That's tough coverage. As soon as he catches it, he's right there. And there's Q, Quantrell Morris Walker all over the place. 3rd and medium here.
3rd and 4 from the Delaware 40. Marker swings it out of the backfield. Pass is caught there by Silver. Silver up the sideline to the first down. He'll have it to the 45-yard line. That's a tough run.
That's a tough one.
Because he needed to pick up a couple of extra yards after the catch to keep the ball.
That's a tough one because, again, we're talking about trying to get off the field on 3rd down. The call is made. Spiders see it. Graves is there, misses the tackle. Glassmeyer can't get there quite in time. Everything's critical at this point, and Delaware does what great teams do. They just find a way to keep the drive going.
From the 45, Marker airing it out down the far sideline into good coverage, and it's knocked away down at the 15 by Chance Graves.
He's having a day, man. They are going after him every chance they get, and he is competing. Even when there's been catches, he's been right there. This one, I love the way he gets his head around. Anytime you get your head around, you got a chance to make a play. He makes a great one right there, knocking it to the ground.
That ball was in the air a long time. What a great camera angle from our field level shot. Way up there in the air. If there was some clouds in the sky, that could have brought some rain. But there aren't, and it didn't. 2nd and 10. Handoff comes straight ahead to Joe Nathan Silver. Picks up about 3. Chris, we both saw they have a deep stable of running backs, but we've only seen the 2 today, Marcus Yarns and Joe Nathan Silver. Last week, Saheed St. Fleur got some carries, and Quincy Watson came off of the bench and was dynamic in the 4th quarter for them. and we haven't seen him at all today.
We talk about it like this is the Spiders have to take this opportunity to get off the field, but yeah, the depth of the Blue Hens is special. It's unique. They're not going to see this type of depth. The Spiders won't see this type of depth probably anytime else this season.
And they get off the field here on third down. This pass is downfield to Bermudez, and it's knocked away. Trey Tomlinson is there to make the play on the Delaware sideline. It's incomplete. And I think you're thinking what I'm thinking, Chris. Trey Tomlinson, after listening to Russ Huseman talk with Sean at halftime, Trey probably got challenged a little bit in that halftime locker room, don't
Absolutely,
you think?
because Tomlinson's a great defensive back. He's always going to be there. He's always going to be in position to make the play. You're not running past him, but son, you got to make the play. That's exactly what he does there. Finds the ball, separates the receiver from the ball. Fourth down.
Wow.
Blue Hens go for fourth down more than any team I've ever seen. They'll go for it.
They are 0 for 1 today and 13 of 20 on fourth down on the season. This is 4th and 7. Marker's pass is incomplete. Diving attempt by Jake Thaw, and he couldn't hang on, and the Spiders are going to take over in Delaware territory at the Blue Hen 48.
Big play. Really, the ball was delivered, just wasn't caught on that one. That's a big time stop for the Spiders. You could see the excitement on the other side. Like I said, that stat that you rattled off about they score 5 this drive almost every game. Spiders were ready for that, prepared for that. Missed the first couple times to stop them on third down. Not here. Going for it on fourth down. Can't secure the catch.
Yeah, they're now 5 scores in 7 games on the first drive of the second half. And now the Spiders' first drive of the second half. Already with a 28-9 lead. And great field position right there on the Big Red Spider. Swinging out on the left side to Javion Griffin, who's had his busiest day today. He makes that catch and yards after it to the Delaware 41-yard line. Javion's 4th catch this afternoon.
Take a look at that play. I mean, right now, Coach October is winning the chess match. He sees what's going on. Everything's in the inside. Everything is there to stop the running game of the Spiders. Just shoots it outside. It's almost like a run play, but we're just getting it outside. Getting one-on-one and trying to get into space, get a little something.
Good first down play, makes it 2nd and short. Coleman was rushed and had to rush to get rid of that one. Ty Davis, their outstanding senior linebacker who had a pick 6 last week in the victory over Maine, was right in on Cam Coleman.
That was a good call, too. I mean, if that catch is made, that's easily a first down. I like the call again. 3rd down and short.
Want to get to Sean Robertson here in just a moment, because not only do we have the Jabril Hayes injury update on the defensive side, on Winston October's offensive side, we haven't seen Matt Robert. In fact, Sean Clark, the backup tight end, is in the game here on 3rd down and 3. Coleman's going to throw for it, and here comes the rush, and down he goes. That'll be the 3rd quarterback sack for the Delaware defense. Sean, what do you got on the injury updates on the Spider sideline?
Well, Matt Robert right now being attended to by Chris Jones, the trainer here at Richmond. He is going to be out of the rest of the game with a shoulder injury suffered in the second quarter. They also confirmed Jabril Hayes. He is out the rest of the game with a right ankle injury. He suffered that early on in the first half, guys.
All right, couple of tough injury updates there for the Spiders. 2 key players, one on offense, one on defense.
Definitely 2 key players, and you're spot on. Just kicked into the end zone. You're spot on. Those are 2 big injuries. Robert, we see him in the passing game, but we just talked about him being an unsung hero in that running game. So that changes the game a little bit.
50-yard punt into the end zone for Aaron Trussler. Delaware will have the ball at its own 20. 9:43 to go in a scoreless third quarter. Spiders lead on the scoreboard, 28-9. 106.1 ESPN Richmond, not only your radio home of Richmond Spider Athletics, but your home for NFL coverage. Tomorrow, doubleheader. It'll be the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants in the 1 o'clock game, and then the Super Bowl rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers in the 4 o'clock game. That's on 106.1 ESPN tomorrow, your home of the Richmond Spiders, who lead Delaware 28-9. Bob and Chris back with you in the booth. Sean down there on the sideline. Delaware from its own 20. Marker on first down. Here comes pressure. He gets it away to Thaw, and Thaw is quickly grabbed by Jeremiah Grant.
Was a great job. Had pressure up front by Camden Bird, and then the hustle on the back end. Oh, no, that's Glassmeyer coming on, and then being able to finish it up. Jeremiah Grant, just got to be proud of him. He's got the 1 sack, but it plays like this again. Lack of depth, just flying around, making plays on the other side of the field. He's done that a couple times today.
Another pass coming. Marker over the middle, and this one's complete to Max Patterson between the hash marks at the 40-yard line. C.J. Frazier makes the tackle at the 41. One of the better balls that Marker has thrown today.
Yeah, he throws that ball well. When we talked about that deep dig, deep crosser, this was just a skinny post. He throws that well.
On first down, he has to scramble, and he'll throw this one away. And a penalty flag comes late. Galloway providing the pressure.
Lineman downfield, maybe?
On Marker. Well, let's get the call from referee
There is no
Overton.
foul for ineligible downfield. The quarterback was legally grounding the ball. It's second down.
Good explanation. And it'll be second down and 10. Delaware's only been penalized once today.
Got to get Delaware behind the sticks, and because what we know about the Blue Hens, they will go for it on fourth down. If they get across that 50, they're going for it. And it's worked for them this year. They've had a lot of success on fourth down.
Second and 10. 2 receivers each side. Marker will hand off, coming straight ahead. This is Silver. Silver gets to the 40-yard line as he picks up 19 yards to the Richmond 40. Joe Nathan Silver.
That was a good one. The Spiders just kind of been lulled to sleep. So much pass. That time they just give the ball right up the middle. Finds a sliver, just a crease. Really a touchdown-saving tackle right there by Morris Walker.
So first and 10. Yarns will take the handoff, and he gets hit hard by Quantrell Morris Walker. Again, he's played maybe his best game, Chris, and the linebackers have been good all year, but as a group, this may be their best day.
I think so. And we're usually saying a ton of Galloway. Haven't said his name yet, but he's still doing everything right. But you got Galloway, and then we've said Glassmeyer, and we've called Quantrell Morris Walker. We've called him a couple times today, so continuing to make plays.
4-man front for the Spiders on 2nd and 8. Marker sets, throws, and incomplete, looking for Phil Lutz. And Chris whispered it. Now you can scream it from the mountaintop if you'd like. Good D.
That's good coverage.
Yeah,
good coverage.
Trey Tomlinson again, huh?
Was that Trey Tomlinson? That's what I was trying to see. I would think that was Trey Tomlinson, but good coverage. Like I said, he's going to be there. The question is, does he make a play on the ball that time? There's no chance. He's in such good coverage. It doesn't matter. Tomlinson's just great. Having a good day.
Yep. Other than that 150-50 ball that his coach pointed out. But he has certainly responded to that. Delaware's 5 for 10 on third down this afternoon. This is 3rd and 8. Over the middle, pass is caught, and that is great play by Wayne Galloway. He said we hadn't mentioned his name enough today, Chris. It's time to mention Wayne Galloway, the captain's name.
I love it. And this is when we talked about, remember we said that the Richmond Spider defense, they don't do a lot. They're good at what they do, and they know where their weaknesses are, so they know where you're going to attack them. They knew right on that third down that there was going to be a drag across, and they're in position. Galloway's in the position to make the play. Spiders have to get a timeout here. Delaware going. I told you, if they make it past that 50, they're going for it.
Yep, and certainly Justin Wood and the Spider coaches knew that, but they want to make sure they have the right personnel on the field here.
Absolutely. Didn't want to get caught.
And they've stopped them twice. I mean, they've tried 2 fourth downs, and the Spiders have stopped them both times.
So you just know at this point that's part of the game. They're going to go for it, and we got to be ready to stop them. So
Again, Spiders looking fresh, coming off of that bye week. They kind of did what they had to do to beat North Carolina A&T 2 weeks ago, 20-17, and they've come back with a vengeance so far this afternoon. A little more than halfway through the third quarter.
You can hear Huseman. Coach Huseman felt like this. Hey, this is a good team. They'll be back. They'll bounce back.
All right, 4th down and 6 from the Spider 36. Zach Marker with 3 wide receivers to his left brings one in motion now to the right. That's Jake Thaw. Marker's looking that way, and the pass is knocked down. Trey Tomlinson timed it perfectly and knocked it away.
Having a day. That play, understand, he reads it the entire way. There's no doubt. It's 4th down. We're not going for the interception. We're going to get this ball on the ground, separates the receiver from the ball. That's a big-time play by a receiver. 4th down, you know they're going to run to the sticks, right past the sticks. You're just an intelligent player, breaking on it. Separation between the receiver and the ball. Can't play it much better than that. Well done, Trey Tomlinson.
Trey Tomlinson credited with his second pass breakup today. Spider ball from the 36. Zach Palmer-Smith to about the 38.
He found a little crack on that one. Stumbled a little bit, but he saw it.
That'll get the Spiders back over 100 yards rushing. They took away some of those yards on the quarterback sacks. It's still more than Delaware gives up per game at the moment. And the Spiders at about 280 yards of total offense. Delaware gives up about 300 per game. Need to keep it rolling here with the 28-9 lead. Coleman scrambles again to the sideline. He'll pick up as much as he can and get out of bounds safely at about the 40. It's going to make it 3rd and long here for Richmond.
It does. I'll take that over a sack any day.
Yep.
Just recognizing whatever he didn't see what he liked. It wasn't there. And just not sitting in there for the sack, getting outside and getting enough, making it 3rd and manageable here. This is a big one because that defense was a nice, lengthy drive, so you'd like to keep them off the field, not have another 3 and out here.
Delaware has 3 quarterback sacks today. The Spider quarterbacks have only been sacked 4 times all year coming into the game today. 3rd and 6. Coleman wants to go to the air. The slant on the near side is incomplete. Looking for Griffin. He would have been shy of the 1st down anyway. So the Spiders are going to be 3 and out here.
That one's tough. This is a tough one. Well done by the Delaware Blue Hen defense. They're fresh because they've gotten a couple, 3 and out stops. The Spiders, a lot of pressure on this defense here to get another stop.
All right, so it's Jake Thaw back to receive the punt at the 20-yard line, and a second safety is going to go back there in punt coverage as well. Donovan Lewis, wide receiver. Trussler end over end. This one drives Thaw back. It'll bounce at the 10, and it's going to kick all the way into the end zone. Trussler's going to get a 60-yard punt out of that. He would have liked it to have been a 59-yard punt.
Right.
But it hit that turf, the artificial turf, and skipped into the end zone. Even still, Delaware with no return, and we'll have to start at the 20-yard line. When we come back with just under 6 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, and the Spiders still up 28-9.
Over 35 years ago, a simple idea sparked our journey to digitize the world's real estate, empowering all people to discover properties, insights, and connections that grow their businesses and lives, fueled by constant advancements, achieving new milestones each year. We're transforming an over $300 trillion industry. Imagine what we'll do next.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Richmond, trust Cabell Childress. He's my personal realtor.
He truly lives up to his motto of personal attention, proven results.
We had a really successful experience working with the Cabell Childress Group, and we would do it again in a heartbeat.
Cabell Childress and his team handled all aspects of our buying and selling experience, making our process stress-free.
They had a personalized game plan and followed it to success.
And I appreciate that old-fashioned hard work.
We know the Richmond real estate market, and that will get you a competitive advantage.
Hey, which school did she decide on? She's still only 5.
Come on! I think she should go to all the colleges.
I mean, where's that sticker stuff?
Invest 529 accounts can be used at all public, private, and even out-of-state schools. Learn more at invest529.com.
Whichever one you hit first wins.
Well, as we said at the outset, 37th and likely final meeting between Richmond and Delaware, certainly as CAA opponents, and the Spiders trying to make it 4 in a row. Delaware dominated this series early under the legendary Tubby Raymond. I think he was 13-3 against the Spiders. Of course, he had those kind of one-loss records against everybody
right.
that Delaware played back in the day. But in recent history, the Spiders have actually dominated this series. Trying to keep it going one more time here this afternoon. Marker looking to throw, zips it over the middle, and this one is caught at midfield. This will be a Delaware first down into Richmond territory. That's Nicholas LeBoy, grad transfer, another Ivy League guy from Cornell. And a first down for the Blue Hens on pass number 38 by Zach Marker. That is a career high.
Plenty of talent in the Ivy League, and, hey, we got a talent in our offensive line coach coming from the Ivy League,
right.
So those guys can come here and perform.
Keegan Kennedy. Another one to the sideline, and this one under some pressure is incomplete, well behind Phil Lutz. Are you surprised that he's thrown this many? Now, down 28-9, I understand they're going to pass, but even in the first half, it looked like their game plan was to go to the air.
Well, I think right now he's not getting a lot of rush, right? And a lot of that is because, we talked about it, just a lack of depth for the defense, so not getting much of a rush. But when you're passing as much, they are having success on the runs. I'm telling you, they'll pass, and they'll slip a run in there. And there's been a couple that have been one tackle from breaking.
2nd and 10. Spider 46. Marker.
Plenty of time.
Yep. He's on the run. Jamar Hodges is chasing him, and he throws it away. How about that young man, Jamar Hodges, who has really burst onto the scene since he was called upon for emergency duty in the Elon game.
We see Jabril Hayes right there, no helmet. So like we always know, if you don't have your helmet, you're not getting back in the game. But he's right there on the sidelines, yelling, screaming, calling out plays, trying to help his team out. 3rd and 9 here.
Chris Ellis, the Spider defensive end coach, really thinks Jamar Hodges has a chance to be a great one here at Richmond. In the Jeremiah Grant, Marlon Lewis, Lawrence Sidbury.
Right. Got quite a few.
Yeah.
That's been a thing.
3rd and 10. Here comes a Spider blitz. The pass is incomplete. 2 penalty flags are down. Chance Graves will get called for pass interference, but I think we might get a hold or an illegal block, maybe on Delaware.
Some pressure. Let's see.
Jeremiah Grant is limping off the field a little bit. That's significant, obviously, for the Spiders. And I don't know if he became entangled. Let's find out.
There are fouls on both teams. Personal foul, illegal chop block, offense, number 54 and number 21. Pass interference, defense, number 37. Penalties offset, it's 3rd down.
All right, so I think my eyes did not deceive me there, Chris.
Right.
I think that's what happened on Jeremiah Grant. Fenton Bros, grad transfer, offensive tackle, and the running back, Marcus Yarns, with the chop block on Jeremiah Grant.
Can't see it, but we did see Jeremiah Grant limp off the field, and he's not in on this one. So I saw him take his helmet off. I haven't seen him go to the tent, but they are taking a look at him.
Sean will get a look at some point, and we'll find out. 3rd and 10. Marker pumps, ducks out of a sack. He's on the run. Penalty flag is down. This one's probably coming back. But Marker with a terrific run.
I think it's going to be hold. You see the Spiders showing hold. They had.
Holding, offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty, it's 3rd down.
That's on the captain, the center, Brock Gingrich. And that'll bring a long Zach Marker run back. I mean, you got to give that kid some credit.
Right.
Chris, I mean, with the knee injury, coming back from that, the rehab, wearing that brace, and he's still a pretty effective runner.
Taking off because he knows when to run. Right there. There's your hold right there. Yeah, there's your hold right there. But really,
that was on Carson Stoklinski.
Hodges gets there, and just the young guy gets there. He brings the pressure, has that speed, unable to kind of break down and make the tackle.
We haven't mentioned those guys too much in the middle. Spiders have now switched up a little bit, but Matei Fitz, Carson Stoklinski, they've gone almost all the way this afternoon. This is 3rd and 20. Marker scrambles. Hodges chases. Marker buying time. Back at his 30. Avoids a tackle, then gets hit and throws it incomplete. Wayne Galloway finally got to him.
The Spiders they are hurting. They are fatigued. He's got him running all over. Oh, a flag comes down.
Well, that's going to be intentional grounding.
Got to be intentional. Okay, that was
a conversation. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage, and Marker threw it away as Galloway was pressuring him.
Number 3 lost it down at the spot of the foul.
What a suffocating defense Richmond has put on the field.
And you can see as they walk off the field, boy, hands are on hips, but you know you did a good job, and it's time for this offense to make a play.
And by the way, the first one who just greeted Zach Marker there on the sideline, the number 14, not in uniform, is Ryan O'Connor, their other quarterback. So he's not playing today for sure. Marker's been a tough kid today, but the Spiders have been absolutely relentless.
Yeah, O'Connor's tough. He's a good one.
All right, punt number 2 of the day for Josh Cupid. First one went 40 yards. Nick DeGennaro shading his eyes from the sun. Spiders should get good field position here.
Nice boot.
End-over-end kick that's going to get a roll, and DeGennaro's going to stay away from it. And this will be a really good kick down to about the 30, where the Spider offense takes over with 4 minutes to go in what has been a kind of quiet third quarter, which is okay for the Spiders because they have the 28-9 lead, but you don't want to get lulled to sleep against this 6-0 Delaware team.
You absolutely do not, especially, like, again, we've had multiple drives where the Spiders have been 3 and out, and Delaware Blue Hands, they just keep putting pressure on that Spider defense. Can't keep asking for miracles. You got to find a way to, number one, put a drive together, and probably more importantly, put some points on the board.
So the Spiders start at the 30. Cam Coleman, 15 of 21, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. Steps up in the pocket, and then he gets tripped up, and that'll be another quarterback sack about a half yard behind the line of scrimmage for the Delaware Blue Hens. They're going to mark him right at the 30, so no gain. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and it's something he's seeing on the back end because it's not like he's not getting any time. He's getting it. He's getting a decent amount of time. But if it's his first option is not there, there's something he doesn't like. He's not letting go of the ball, and just making the right decision, trying to get what he can get. But the Spiders need a first down on this drive.
Richmond has slowed the pace here with 3:20 to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and 10. Coleman loops it down the sideline, but overthrows Landon Ellis. And it'll be 3rd down and 10.
That time there was a big rush. Yeah, there was a big rush right there. Coleman let go of that ball just in time.
And here's the other thing. Matt Robert is not out there, and he has been a significant contributor, whether he's blocking or catching passes for the Spiders. And Richmond at the moment has played without the tight end. They brought an extra wide receiver into the game, which they will do again here. They've got Vini, Garcia, Griffin, and DeGennaro, with Zach Palmer-Smith as the running back in the 5-man offensive line.
Tough thing here is you need 10 yards, so they're going to bring the blitz, make you throw it short.
Here they come. Coleman throws over the middle. He's got Javion Griffin, who makes the catch inside the half.
But got the catch.
And he is shaken up.
They should
Javion
let him
Griffin,
go down.
his teammates waving to the sideline for the Spiders athletic medical staff to come attend to Javion.
He's had a day. He's had a good day. Coleman likes Javion Griffin. They've been practicing together for some time. He just looks for him. When he needs a play, a lot of times he's looking for Griffin.
That'll be Javion's 5th catch for number 5. But he did pay the price on this one, Chris.
He did, throwing all the way across his body. Yeah, it just takes a big
the
shot from
play
the
under
linebacker.
further review for a potential targeting foul.
Well, we'll slow that down for you and see if we see it on the Delaware side here. And that would be Ty Davis,
right?
The linebacker.
That's a tough one.
Again, I agree. That's tough.
I feel like he's tough. I mean, yes, he lowers his head, but I also feel like his forearm is out there. So I don't know what that means if your forearm is out there.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? But so your head is down, but your forearm is. So I don't. I'm not sure how that works with targeting. If that still, would be a targeting call. I remember we said it earlier. I felt like this group of refs. Some people they just call it tight, and I think they've called it tight the entire game. They're going to call it like that for both teams. So they're gonna take a look and see what the decision is.
So the targeting call on the field on Wayne Galloway, or was it Glassmeyer?
It was Glassmeyer
in the first half was overturned by the replay official, Brian Thomas, up here in the booth next to us. We'll see if the same thing happens here. And Javion Griffin obviously took a blow, so I don't want to demean it at all, and he is in the red medical tent. But I don't think it was egregious enough to be targeting, to be honest.
No targeting on the play.
There you
Result
go.
of the play is a first down.
So we do try to call them as we see. I mean, I didn't really think that one was targeting either.
I think we call them as old guys.
Well, you certainly do. Having put the helmet and the shoulder pads on, how many times have I kidded you that for many of your hits that I called back in the day, you'd be on the sideline for the rest of the game. Because you were a good hard hitter, man.
Game has changed and evolved. Yeah. I agree. That was part of. I never wanted to injure anybody, but if they had a little extra ice and a little extra time in the hot tub the next day, I did my job.
1st and 10 for the Spiders. ZPS on the carry. He'll pick up 5 yards to midfield, and that's what the Spiders want. 5 on first down.
There you go.
Keep the clock rolling. Get this game into the fourth quarter.
Give that defense some time to rest.
Yep.
A little time to catch their breath and keep this ball moving. Keep the chains moving. And again, there's no secret. Spiders want to get to the point where, Zach Palmer-Smith has 14 carries, 47 yards, and a TD. A great day would be over 100 yards and another touchdown.
2nd down and 4 at the Delaware 49. Zach Palmer-Smith picks up 2 more, and it'll be 3rd down. Spiders have gone a little bit deeper at tight end, and you just saw the guy I was going to mention getting a little extracurricular push in there. Aiden Mack. There he is, number 88. Is the number 3 tight end for the Spiders. He was in the game. He's going to come out now. With Robert out, we have seen more of Sean Clark, the redshirt sophomore, and now Aiden Mack. 3rd and 2 here. Spiders trying to keep possession on a 3rd down play, but it's not going to work on that one.
That was an interesting call. Brought in all the receivers and then ran it straight up the middle, so didn't expect to see that one.
Ty Davis, again, as we said, one of their outstanding linebackers, makes that stop, but we do have an injured Delaware player that will stop play with 92 seconds to go.
Yeah, I didn't see that play call.
I think that's Ethan Saunders, the defensive tackle.
They're looking at his ankle.
And that will stop play here for a moment. Spiders heading on the road next week to Bryant, our first and last ever trip to Bryant. I know you're excited about that.
All right.
We're excited that it's a noon game.
There you go.
We'll be home by dinner time.
There you
So
go.
that part of it's good.
Hop on the plane.
Delaware returns home next week. They've got Albany for homecoming next week at Tubby Raymond Field, Delaware Stadium.
Hot LZ, hop on the plane, have a great game, and get back in time for dinner, like you said.
There you go. Where are you taking me?
I don't know. What you in the mood for?
Well, we got some good spots, good partner restaurants here. You haven't been to Bar West yet.
I have
for
not
the
been yet.
coaches show. We got to get you there.
You got to get me there.
Yep.
I hear the food is delicious.
It's been outstanding. The people have been great. We've really enjoyed that. Thursdays at noon, if you want to come by, 5811 Grove Avenue.
Coming off the field here.
That's Keyshawn Hunter. I beg your pardon. I their numbers, like Richmond's, are a little bit difficult to read. He's their senior defensive lineman from Old Dominion.
I think he could have walked off, but I think sometimes they're just going to play it safe. This was just a surprise to me. You bring in all the extra receivers and then running, like you said, great job by their linebacker. He just closes down. He makes the play.
Yeah. But that was a pile of bodies on top of Hunter there.
So,
well, and the bottom line here is Richmond has to punt again, and you really don't want to get into this kind of routine and give Delaware any kind of chance. Trussler's had great numbers today, but he hasn't really had a great Aaron Trussler punt today. Let's see what this one does. Fair catch is called for, bounces again at the 5 and goes into the end zone. So again, he'll get, 48 yards statistically, but that's really not what he was looking for.
Yeah, I think his receivers, they were looking for it. I think they kind of lost it. They would have had to catch it before that bounce because when it hits, his balls, they always do an aggressive bounce, which is good when you're kicking to the field. When you're trying to keep it into the end zone, it hurts you a little bit.
It's interesting because we talked with Aaron as part of the media stuff this week, and he said, this year I'm starting to get a little bit more greedy,
yeah.
right? A little more aggressive on my punts when I can, and I see where the receiver is and that sort of thing. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. All right, Delaware is changing quarterbacks here. This is Nick Minucci into the game, and he throws immediately to Phil Lutz, who makes the catch up in midfield. Tomlinson makes the tackle. Minucci was a starting quarterback at one point for Delaware, and then he got hurt in their Sacred Heart game, and he's just now coming back.
And Tomlinson gets up limping a little bit. Let's see if he can make it here.
Minucci on the run will go to the sideline and step out of bounds at the Spider 45-yard line.
Yeah, anytime you get a fresh quarterback in there, fresh legs, fresh eyes, and you're trying to figure out what his strengths are, right? And every quarterback's a little bit different. They have different strengths, but they had 3 quarterbacks. They've all had some level of playing time. So this will be an adjustment for the Spiders. A lot of times when the quarterback comes on that first drive, it's to the offense's advantage.
Minucci is a 6'2", 215-pound sophomore. Fires that one. That's complete on the Spiders sideline to Max Patterson. And that'll be a Delaware first down on the last play of the third quarter. So that'll give that guy in the middle, Justin Wood, a chance to regroup with his defense against a new quarterback for the Delaware Blue Hens. As we go to the fourth quarter, the Spiders have a 28-9 lead. 15 minutes to go. We come back to Robins Stadium.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant. Whatever it takes.
Over 35 years ago, a simple idea sparked our journey to digitize the world's real estate, empowering all people to discover properties, insights, and connections that grow their businesses and lives, fueled by constant advancements, achieving new milestones each year. We're transforming an over $300 trillion industry. Imagine what we'll do next.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Richmond, trust Cabell Childress. He's my personal realtor.
He truly lives up to his motto of personal attention, proven results.
We had a really successful experience working with the Cabell Childress Group, and we would do it again in a heartbeat.
Cabell Childress and his team handled all aspects of our buying and selling experience, making our process stress-free.
They had a personalized game plan and followed it to success.
And I appreciate that old-fashioned hard work.
We know the Richmond real estate market, and that will get you a competitive advantage.
Luck Chevrolet is the Chevy truck expert, period. If you use your truck for work, play, or both, go where the truck guys go. Luck has a truck for every budget. Luck is the dealer to help your business be more productive. They've got all types of commercial vehicles, SUVs, and regular trucks available to replace your aging vehicle inventory. In person on Route 1 in Ashland or online at luckchevrolet.com. Buy your new truck from Luck Chevrolet in Ashland.
Spiders 15 minutes away from their 5th consecutive win and sending Delaware to its first loss of the season. Blue Hens, remember, moving up to the FBS level next year to Conference USA. So they are ineligible for the CAA regular season championship. They are ineligible for the FCS playoffs, and they're ineligible to be ranked in the top 25. We truly believe, obviously, this would have been a top 25 matchup. We could have called it that. with the Spiders at 15 and 18 in the two polls. Delaware would have been top 10 certainly at 6-0. Minicucci to throw. Scrambles. Spiders are chasing. Jamar Hodges and Wayne Galloway will make them go out of bounds at the Spider 36-yard line. You know, Chris, this is kind of an interesting deal for Delaware this year, right?
Right.
They have a finite season. When they play Villanova in the last game of the year, they're done. That's it. No matter what, they're done. And Ryan Carty was saying this week, it's actually worked out pretty well. Like, they can coin every week their Super Bowl because it really is.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, every team says it, hey, just win this game.
But they have nothing else really to play for. Minicucci's pass on the run is a little bit too strong for Patterson, and it's incomplete. I ran into an old friend of ours and great Richmond strength and conditioning coach, Chris Stewart, who's now at Delaware. Yep, he's been there now 8 years. He said, wow, I've been at Delaware as long as I was at Richmond. Had a great catch-up visit with him before the game, and he was saying, yeah, we've been able to plan our Thanksgiving dinner this year.
That's different.
Because we know we're not playing football.
I don't know if you like that, but,
right.
It's definitely different.
For 1 year, I think they're handling it.
3rd and long here. I think the good question was, I think you asked was like, man, interesting for your seniors.
Yeah. Yeah. At least the other guys know they're going to. Oh, here's an interception.
Quantrell
for
Morris.
The Spiders,
Walker.
his second of the year. Quantrell Morris Walker picks it off, and the Spiders have it back. The second turnover of the day for the Richmond defense.
Is an interception.
We talked about that. We talked about Morris Walker led at 5 tackles on the day, 2 pass breakups and an interception. That's what you do. When you're out and you come back with fresh legs, that's what we need. That's a fresh leg performance.
Yeah, he's had more time off than everybody else between the week he missed and the bye week.
Excited and ready to get back. Big play there.
That's a phenomenal story there. Just, where he was and coming to Richmond and the whole process of the Spider coaches finding him and him wanting to come east.
Another turnover for Delaware. Like I said, don't see that often. Spiders don't want to turn the ball over and want to find a way to get a first down here.
As we said, they had been plus 12. They hadn't lost a fumble all year. That happened today.
And we were talking about this before. This is where Delaware wins their games in the second half. Their depth is remarkable. They wear teams down. We talked about last week. Maine was in thorough control of that game, and Delaware came out and held Maine to 51 yards in the entire second half. Spiders aren't doing much better here.
Nope.
And 28-9 may seem like a lot, but it's not. You got to be able to put some more points on the board, or at least, like I said, get some first downs, keep that defense off the field.
Ty Davis again with another terrific defensive play. Man, he has been outstanding. Yeah, that game last week against Maine was 23-21 with 7 minutes to go in the game. And then there was a pick six and another turnover, and Delaware exploded and won it 44-21. But to your point, they just wore down the Black Bears. And look what Maine does, turns around today and pummels Villanova.
I can tell you, their defense is doing everything they're supposed to do right now. And like I said, you hear the Spider fans not happy with the last 2 calls.
And puts him behind the sticks on 3rd down and 11. Coleman with the quarterback draw comes straight upfield and dives for the first down. And he's got it. That's the most scintillating offensive play of the second half for
and you want to be smart, but you can only be so conservative here. Got to keep the clock moving. Get your guys some rest over there, but it's still football. It's still about touchdowns. And this is just great athleticism and a little drive by Cam Coleman on that one.
How about Cam? 9 carries, 72 yards today. He ripped off 59 on one of them. And then his passing numbers solid as well. He'll hand off here on first down, and Spiders will get it just about to midfield as we hit the 12-minute mark here in the fourth quarter.
Spiders looking for a little 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Whatever works. Whatever works, and trusting that offensive line. They've done some things for you. And also, you do put pressure on that Blue Hen defense as they begin to move up and do everything to stop the run. It'll open up at some point for a short pass, make one miss.
Andrew King in the game now at running back, the true freshman. And again, the Spiders letting that clock run, doing a little clock management here with a 28-9 advantage. And 11.5 to go.
Blitz coming.
But King takes the handoff, gets into Delaware territory, and will give the Spiders a third and very manageable here.
Yeah, but we were talking about Delaware. That is interesting. I thought the question you asked was great, like in terms of the seniors.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep them excited and motivated? And I thought his answer was, hey man, we just keep winning. 6-0. It's an opportunity for them to they still view it as a championship, even if it's not official.
Yep.
If our guys win a title, we're going to make sure we treat them like champions.
Yeah, they're going to get rings. They'll get a banner. And certainly their goal was to go unbeaten. They didn't speak it in those terms. They spoke it in week to week. But if you add up 11 wins, they'd be unbeaten. 3rd and 2, Zach Palmer-Smith with the Spider first down with a burst into the secondary to the Delaware 39-yard line.
That's a big one.
It really is.
Big first down, little extracurricular.
Nick DeGennaro pretty fired up there. He's having a really good day, so I'm sure he's feeling good.
This one was big
today. That's a nice run by the ZPS.
Yeah. Ty Davis had made a couple good plays, and you could tell the Spiders picked it up on that when he was blocked. That allowed he was the one coming down, making those tackles from the backside. That time he's blocked. Zach Palmer-Smith fits into the hole and gets that first down.
Boy, those are significant rushing numbers you're looking at there on the screen. The quantity for Richmond and the lack of quantity for Delaware.
How about that one? Those are the ZPS Zach Palmer-Smith runs I love. Everything about that should have been tackled in the backfield. No way that should have been 5.5 yards.
He's not having the gaudy numbers that he's had the last 3 weeks, but this is going to be solid numbers again for him. He's up to 19 carries and 60 yards.
And you're about 10, 15 yards. Another first down or so, and you're getting in the field goal range.
Yep, which we haven't had any of today, and as both of us pointed out, and Ryan Carty pointed out at halftime, you're not going to win this game on field goals today.
Which is funny because the last one in 2022, we won basically with
on
all
field
field goals.
That's all field. Right, you're right.
All field goals. 15
right.
Was it 15-12?
Yeah.
15-13?
Yeah,
something like that.
And then the Spiders got that fumble recovery on the last kickoff at the end of the game. But yes, it was all field goals in 2022.
Here we go, 3rd and medium.
Call it 3rd and 5 at the Delaware 34. This might be four down territory.
I was going to ask you that, partner. You think this is four down territory?
I do.
Yeah, especially with
I don't think Russ Huseman is trusting his Aussie punter today. He'll trust him every week, but not today, the way he's kicked it in the end zone every time. I don't think you want to do that.
Watching out for quarterback draw here. I'm sure that's what they're looking for.
Yep. From the 34-yard line. That's exactly what's coming, and Coleman uses a block brilliantly and picks up the first down. Boy, he saw that block and cut left and picks up the first down.
Different style of running, right? We've seen Wickersham. He's a big body. He'll run past you, but he will run over you. Cam Coleman just, again, he's not expecting to go 40 or 50, but he knows where the sticks are. I need a first down. Foot in the dirt. Gets upfield. And like you said, follows his blocks right there. There's his blocks, reads the butt of his guard, sticks his foot in the ground and gets that first down. Again, a long body, so just he can fall for 2 or 3.
That is a significant first down, and the Spiders will hold on to the ball. Although
false start by the offensive line here.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
This is by far Cam Coleman's career high in yards rushing, 10 carries, 79 yards. And that'll push the Spiders back to 1st and 15. And before they snap it here, we go back down to the field, check in with Sean.
Javion Griffin is going to be doubtful as they were attending to him in the red tent with a head injury. Landon Ellis is questionable with the hamstring. And we're going to check on the status of Trey Tomlinson. They were working on his right leg and calf on the sideline.
Boy, you hope these injuries are only one game today, and by next week, with some rest and recovery and medical attention by our great athletic training staff and doctors, that they can be back.
Yeah,
the guys on the field are fighting pretty hard, Chris. How about that move of the scrum?
They really are fighting, pushing, pulling. When you see a DeGennaro, a receiver, coming out and he's excited about the grind, that means your team is into it fully. You can see everybody on the sidelines. But, yeah, in terms of those injuries, it's been a tough one. We've seen a significant number of injuries this year, and got a few guys banged up today, but we're hoping it's just banged up a little bit.
One more for us, right, Sean, on Trey Tomlinson?
And they said it's probably just cramps. He should be okay. He's basically on a stationary bike right beside me, getting loose, keeping that right leg and calf loose. But they say he should return.
That's an area where we do have a level of depth in terms of, like, maybe not at safety, but at corner. We do have some guys who can rotate in. And if the Spiders are able to do what they need to do here, get down here and get a field goal or a touchdown, it's going to be nothing but throwing the ball for the Blue Hens. So if we can get Tomlinson back in the game, that would be critical.
Look at those rushing numbers today, Chris. And we know how good the Spider offensive rush game has been and how good the Delaware defensive rush game has been. And as Ryan Carty told us this week, our goal is always to start by stopping the run. And the Spiders have willed themselves into a much better position today, and they do again. And Zach Palmer-Smith was one more twist, one more pirouette away.
That's Jamal Brown.
Oh, no, you're right.
That's
the freshman, Jamal Brown, in the game.
How about that? Jamal Brown is a guy who came into the season. We were excited about him. He started the first game at UVA as a starter and got hurt right off the bat, and we haven't seen much more of him. But we talked about that running back room, and to see him back out there in a critical time, which means they believe in him and they like what they see. Obviously, they did. He started the season. Gets skinny, gets in the hole, holds on two hands on that ball.
That's a strong run. What a great run, huh? How about that? So that's actually his second carry today. So we apologize for that. And here's his third carry, which will get him to about 20 yards this afternoon. But that just keeps the clock rolling down. We'll be under 5 minutes by the time the Spiders snap it again. And the Spiders have also changed quarterbacks here as Ashton Snellsire is in the game. And you hope that's just a Winston October Russ Huseman coaching decision. And there's no issue with Cam Coleman. Up 28-9 with 5 minutes to go. You're feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, I didn't see Cam Coleman go down. I didn't see anything happen.
So we'll keep an eye on that position as well.
And, yeah, like you said, the Spiders are taking their time. I mean, it's just, no rush to get out of that huddle.
So much so that Richmond will use a timeout here. So when we met with Russ Huseman yesterday, and he filled us in on the plan today, he said Cam Coleman is QB1, Ashton Snellsire is QB2 today, and because Kyle Wickersham still hasn't fully recovered, it's been a month now since that ankle injury, he is QB3. And true to the word, Snellsire is in for Coleman. On the timeout, we'll take a break. 4:44 to go. Spiders on their way. They lead it 28-9. When the Spider offense comes back on the field following this timeout, we fully expect it to be Cam Coleman And he is, don't we, Sean Robertson?
Yes, it was quick. I think it happened in that last play before Snowsnyer was in when he dove for the first down. He sprained his non-throwing thumb. He then went to the red tent to get it retaped, so that's why Snowsire was in for that play. And now Coleman is back in it. I'm telling you, Bob, it's like a mass unit down here, so hopefully this does not roll over into next week, as some of these guys that got nicked up today will be back in action next week.
And as we can see on our picture now, the Spiders have gone to their fourth running back. Aziz Foster Powell, the redshirt freshman from Highland Springs, is to the left of Coleman, and he takes the handoff and dives down for just a yard to about the 13-yard line. And Delaware quickly uses a timeout here.
First charge timeout, Delaware. 30-second timeout.
Trying to figure out a way to stay in the game. They have not forced a turnover today, Chris, and that is significant as well. They had forced 5 fumbles this season and 9 interceptions, and the Spider offense has played a clean game.
That'll be part of the conversation as the Spiders go to the sideline. Is like, hey, looking at the clock, they got to start. If we get points here, the game is over essentially. So they're going to be going for the ball. They're going to be stripping for the ball. So I'm talking to Cam Coleman. I'm talking to whatever running backs in the game, whether it's ZPS, Jamal Brown, King, or Foster Powell. I'm talking to them saying, hey, both hands on the ball. We want a touchdown, but we cannot give it up here.
3rd down and 9. And you imagine the Spiders will keep the ball in the middle of the field and maybe call upon Brandon Peskin if they don't get the first down here. Coleman will hand off, and spinning down close to the first down is Zach Palmer-Smith. Now you could go for it if you wanted to on 4th down and a yard.
Yeah, I think I'm kicking a field goal and calling it a day, but I see what you're saying. What worst case scenario, you don't get it. You're all the way down here, but my defense has played tough. They've done everything. It's been a long day. I think for me, I think I'm trying to get 3 points, 31-9 and calling it a day. What you thinking? I see that look in your eyes, partner. What you thinking?
This is why it's so much fun to be up here in the booth. I'm going for it. I'm keeping my offense on the field.
How about that? 39 plays, 176 yards.
That is the most yards that Delaware's defense has given up on the ground this season.
Well, they listen to you. I'm just a guy.
Well, I get more time with Coach Usman during the week. He gives me a little of his philosophy on this sort of thing, so I was pretty confident he would do this. He gives it to Zach Palmer-Smith, and second effort maybe at the 5-yard line. I think he's going to be a little bit short.
I think he's short.
Yep.
Ruling on the field as the runner was short of the line to gain. First down, Delaware.
We should have listened to you, partner, as always. I feel like I say that once a week, and I still don't learn.
Been around a little bit. I've been around a little bit. Again, I understood the mentality to go for it. Like, hey, if we can get this, the game is over. Personally, I think with 4 minutes and 26 seconds, the 31-9 makes the game over. But
I think this is going to be pretty difficult, too, truth be told. I mean, they're 95 yards away, and the Spider defense has been locked down all afternoon.
They'll take some shots, I'm sure. I mean, again, as a defensive back, the last thing I'm doing is letting anything get behind me. If something's happening, I'm coming up to tackle it.
Marker has come back at quarterback. He takes the snap in the end zone. He wants to throw from the end zone, which he does. And he's got Joe Nathan Silver, and Silver's picking up a lot of those 95 yards. He gets out across the 40 and up to the 46-yard line. That's exactly the play they needed.
Exactly. Just ran everybody deep, and those guys were hustling. Again, I talked about it as a corner. You're playing deep. You're not letting anything get behind you. So then you get a one-on-one situation with the back on the linebacker. He's able to get some things done.
And this one is behind Silver and incomplete, which will stop the clock with 3:53 to go. We mentioned Spiders at Bryant next week, and then homecoming here at Robins Stadium November 2nd against the Towson Tigers.
I like this move here, bringing in Zach Chambers at middle linebacker. I like that move. Just, Galloway is great, but in this situation, everything's going to be passing. Zach Chambers runs well.
This is great experience for these younger guys, too, in this situation, in a key CAA game. Marker is going to go down. Carson Stoklinski from his defensive tackle position may have just put the exclamation point on a huge Spiders CAA win.
Outstanding. Stock Lindsey gets in there. I think I saw Jeremiah Grant in there, but this is definitely Stock Lindsey. Oh, getting in there. Oh, yeah. Beats his man, secure. And this is what a healthy defensive line that's not gassed looks like, putting pressure on the quarterback every down.
Saw it there, 18th quarterback sack of the season, and there's quarterback sack number 19. Back-to-back sacks for the Spider defense. Camden Bird's got that one.
The local talent, he flies around all game. I love his motor. And this is just, again, understanding the moment. I tell you, these guys are finally a little fresh. They got some time off the field, and this is what you see. You see performance, getting off, beating their guys, back-to-back sacks.
I think that word is great for the entire team today, Chris, motor. I know the defense, and you focus on the defense, has done it all game long, but the offense set the tone with their motor in the first half. Here they come again, and the pass at midfield is caught or incomplete. And another near quarterback sack. That would have been 3 plays in a row. Marker just got rid of the ball.
That was Matei Fitz. So, I mean, that would have been 3 people, 3 sacks, 3 different people.
3 different linemen, right?
Spiders number.
Even without a blitz. No blitz coming, just the defensive linemen.
Spiders third in the conference in terms of getting sacks. That stat was just up there. Delaware 0 for 4 on 4th down today. 2 turnovers forced by U of R. That is exactly the opposite. Look at that. Matei Fitz is almost there.
Well, I'll tell you what's left of this Redout Robbins crowd should be roaring for these guys, particularly on the other side, and let them hear it, because this has been a terrific effort by Richmond's football team today. They are serving some notice here this afternoon that they're poised for a second half of the season run. This will be win number 5 in a row, be 5-2, 3-0 in the CAA, and they'll send Delaware to its first defeat of the season. And they need to just run out the clock now. We'll get the 2-minute timeout before this next play. And Coach Carty has 1 timeout remaining if he wants it, but probably won't use it. And this will be a most satisfying Spider win.
And that's been the personality of this Spiders team the last few years. It's the second half of the season type team where they're going to get better. They're going to put this thing together. They're going to figure it out. They're going to find a way to make plays. That defense is going to just continue to be consistent. And, yeah, every year is something. You're battling something different. Last year was a change of quarterbacks every week. This year we've had some issues with injuries. But, again, the Spiders find a way to get better, get stronger, and get wins. 2-minute mark here for the game.
Well, as Russ Huseman told us yesterday, it's Cam Coleman's job as long as he keeps doing his job. And he did it today. Spiders on their way, up 28-9 with 2 to go.
You could buy a single stock and go all in on one company, or own the sector and invest in keeping good company. Is it so radical to be so rational? Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Go to sectorspiders.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully. Sector Spiders, the 11 sectors of the S&P 500.
Richmond Spiders are known by what we do.
We follow our instincts, and we lay it all on the line.
We advance life-changing research and put discovery in motion.
We take the lead, and we go the distance.
What could you do?
What could you do?
What could you do at Richmond?
Luck Chevrolet is the Chevy truck expert, period. If you use your truck for work, play, or both, go where the truck guys go. Luck has a truck for every budget. Luck is the dealer to help your business be more productive. They've got all types of commercial vehicles, SUVs, and regular trucks available to replace your aging vehicle inventory. In person on Route 1 in Ashland or online at luckchevrolet.com. Buy your new truck from Luck Chevrolet in Ashland.
One of the great shots from our crew of the sun setting over the capital city, and it's setting on a Spider victory over Delaware today. Bob and Chris back with you in the booth. Sean down on the sideline. Stay tuned. Our post-game show, our Ortho Virginia post-game show. It's coming up. Coach Huseman, presented by Bar West, our Spider player of the game. I think you're looking at him right there. The Richmond quarterback, who will remain unbeaten as a starting quarterback.
How wild is that?
8-0 now as a Spider starting quarterback, and he put up passing and rushing numbers today. 2nd down and 4. More handoffs. Boy, guys still popping shoulder pads, aren't they? And fighting hard down there. It'll be 3rd down and 1, and Delaware will allow the clock to run here.
Yeah, Foster Powell's in the game. He's going to run hard. You got to lay some body on him if you expect him to go down.
And if the Spiders can pick up the 1st down, they can go to their favorite formation, the victory formation. This will be 4 in a row against Delaware.
How about that?
7 out of 9 and 10 out of 15.
How many programs can say that? You know, Delaware's a traditional powerhouse. We've talked about the rivalry. The Spiders, they've always been, for the most part, have been close games, tough games, but they found a way.
30-second timeout.
Delaware still leads the all-time series. It'll be 22-15. Here in Richmond, the Spiders level it. The teams will go 9-9 between University of Richmond Stadium and Robbins Stadium. Spiders dominated here since moving into this facility.
Definitely a rivalry I'm going to miss. We talked about that. I heard you ask that question. I understand things change. Football changes. Teams move on. JMU's moved on. Delaware is moving on to FBS. The CAA is changing. Spiders are changing conferences next year. So things change. That's just part of the game, but it's tough. And you miss great rivalries like from now. Even when I played in this rivalry, was one I was always excited Saturday morning when we had the Blue Hens.
On 3rd and 1. And Aziz Foster Powell fighting for it, and they're going to give it to him. That's a great reward for that kind of run. I mean, that was a great defensive effort as well. And Foster Powell got the yard he needed, and the Spiders can take a couple of knees here. And this is a really gratifying, satisfying win for the Richmond Spiders, who have served some notice here today.
Undefeated team comes in your house, a team that it has the depth. That's all we've heard about, not just the talent, but the depth. So many scholarships, so many people. You come in, you're banged up, and you're not at your best, not healthy. But I tell you what, when a team comes into your house, you got to serve notice, and that's what the Spiders did today.
And, in fact, that's the last play of the game as Cam Coleman takes a knee with 39 on the game clock, and that'll do it. Russ Huseman leading his troops across the field. The red-clad players on Red Out Robbins Day have knocked off the previously unbeaten Delaware Blue Hens 28-9. Richmond used a huge first half. That was the halftime score, and, Chris, we had no scoring at all in the second half.
It was an ugly game in the second half. Everybody's just trying to hold on, just trying to fight, just trying to perform. And I tell you what, the Spiders got it done in the second half. How about that defense just being tough? We talked about the not having the depth and being tired. We had injuries on the sideline. But, again, just being gritty fight. And this is the way we wanted to end this rivalry. Spiders on top.
Delaware finishes with 324 yards of offense. They average almost 470 a game. The Spiders had 378 yards of offense. Delaware was giving up only 300 a game, and the rushing number was particularly impressive for Richmond. The Spiders with 184 yards on the ground. Delaware gives up half of that per game. And a guy who was responsible for 79 yards of those on the ground, in addition to 194 through the air, is our Spider player of the game, quarterback Cam Coleman with Sean Robertson.
Thanks, Bob. I want to see that smile, Cam. You're 4-0 as a starting quarterback. I want to talk about this long run you had in the first half. You should have made it into the end zone. What happened?
Well, first and foremost, I want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Just the opportunity to go out here and play today with all my teammates, brothers, it was awesome. But I don't usually get runs like that. I didn't expect. I was looking around like, oh, crap, I'm open. And then I thought I got in. Even afterwards, I looked at the ref, and he was like, So, I don't know. But I asked DPS to hand it off to next play. I knew he was getting in there. We got a touchdown regardless.
You guys were able to attack Delaware through the air and also through the ground, especially against a team that hadn't given up 100 yards per game this season. How were you able to do that tonight against Delaware?
I mean, I think that with the bye week, we had a good about week and a half of just great preparation, and we all just came together. We knew what we could do. We were excited to go out there, play a ranked opponent. I think it was top 15 teams or top 20 teams either way. It was an awesome opportunity, and we were ready to go out there and do what we know we can.
4-0 as a starting quarterback. How does that sound?
It sounds great.
Congrats.
Playing.
Congrats on the win. Good luck to you next week.
Thank you very much.
That's Cam Coleman, starting quarterback for the Richmond Spiders. We got head coach Russ Huseman standing by. Come on in here, Russ. The winning streak is now at 5, and you talked about specifically this week we had to get big plays through the air. You were able to do that in the first half, and then defensively getting the turnovers against a team that really hadn't done that all season.
Well, I told our team, two evenly matched teams here, and I told our team, whoever wins the turnover battle will win the football game. No question about it. I believe that 100%, and we won the turnover battle today and won a football game.
You also said this was going to be kind of like a litmus test to see if you guys were going to be better after that 2-game losing streak earlier in the season. How would you assess the performance?
Well, we beat a good football team today. I mean, they're 6-0. They got a lot of good players. They're well coached, and when you can beat a Delaware who's playing, that team would have been a top 5, top 6 team in the country that we just beat right there. And I kept telling them, it's a top 20 matchup, man. Top 20 matchup. Nobody cares out there in the real world. And it's like, well, Richmond's playing Delaware, so what? But I mean, 2 great football teams right here. We came with a big one.
Well, the guy that's going to the locker room right now, Cam Coleman, another solid performance from him as a starter.
Yeah, he missed one early, man. I was about to. I'm telling you what, I didn't know what I was going to do, but he missed that one early. But then he came back and hit Nick on another one. Yeah, he's a gutsy player, man. He knows how to play.
Congrats on the win. Good luck to you next week.
Appreciate it.
Another solid performance for Cam and the team, 28-9 over Delaware this afternoon, Bob.
Sean, he stopped short to tell us what he was going to do to Cam
You know, he was
Coleman.
close.
Yeah,
he was close.
I know. I'm glad we didn't find out. We need him next week, right?
We want to be back on later in the year. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job. We kept you busy down there today, Sean. Well done. All right, Cam Coleman again, 16 of 23, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then 10 rushing attempts for 79 yards, that 59-yarder that was just a yard shy of getting into the end zone. And really, Chris, for the Spiders, I thought the offense set the tone in the first half, and the defense shut the door in the second half.
Yeah, you want to be a great team, you got to have balance. And I thought defensively, the game plan was to get out there and be aggressive, come out quick. And the defense, they got 3-and-outs, they got stops, they got turnovers. Great teams that will then get the ball and punish the other team. The Spiders were able to do that offensively. And then second half, I just thought it was grit. We talked about Delaware had dominated every single team, not just beat them, but dominated them in the second half. And so to just, to just have a draw in the second half, 28-9, just hold the same score from halftime. There's something to be said about that, particularly with the way that the Spiders have been banged up. So a big win, a gritty win. Got to feel good. I like what Coach Huseman said. Hey, this is a top 20 game. This would have been a top 6 team if they weren't moving up next year. And to come in and have them come into your house and perform like this, got to feel good about it. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate.
Well, there are only 3 remaining FCS unbeatens now, with Delaware going down today. The other 3, I don't know how they did today, Montana State, Mercer, and Dartmouth, as Delaware falls to 6-1, 3-1 in the CAA. The Spiders have now won 5 in a row. They're 5-2, 3-0 in the CAA. And as far as the series, which we're sorry to see end, goes, Chris, it's now 22-15 for Delaware, but Richmond ends up 4 in a row, 7 of 9, and 10 of 15 over the Blue Hens.
On the win streak, 4 in a row. Got to feel good about that. Good luck to the Delaware Blue Hens as they move on and move up. I'm sure they'll represent CAA. They'll represent the rivalry. Like I said, there's been a lot of great players who've worn blue and gold. A lot of great players who've been involved in this rivalry on both sides. So good luck to them. But today was the Spiders' day.
Delaware heads home for homecoming next Saturday against Albany. The Spiders hit the road next week at Bryant. That's a noon game. We'll have it on the radio for you next week on 106.1 ESPN beginning at 11. CAA football this afternoon. Thank our hard-working staff, led by Blake Ellett, our director, and our terrific crew. Now for Sean Robertson on the sidelines and Chris Anderson in the booth. Bob Black saying so long. Your final score one final time. Richmond 28, Delaware 9. The Spiders now 5-2 overall, 3-0 in the CAA. Back home here in 2 weeks for the Spiders' homecoming against the Towson Tigers at 2 o'clock on Saturday, November 2nd. We'll have it for you right here. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. This has been a production of Spider TV and live on Masson and Flow Sports. So long, everyone, from Robins Stadium.